That's audio. How do you fix the audio?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the splitter.
Let me see.
It's because it's the way it's live streaming. I think that we need that other little cord for the audio. There's like this other piece that I remember I sent it to you guys. I can't find it, but there's one more piece that we need.
Now we need to connect the laptop and switch them. So there's a way to do that shit.
Oh, we gotta go to interface here, my bad.
That's what we're doing.
To the point where it will work now?
Now we need to connect the laptop and switch them. So there's a way to do that shit. Oh, we gotta go to interface here, my bad.
To the point where it will work now?
The only thing is, I don't know if we're gonna be able to record the audio to the SD.
So then we're gonna have to chance it.
Maybe.
What we doing?
I can get it so you can like cut the interface to that. Then we might not get saved, if anything. Like if anything were to crash or anything, we'll be fucked.
This is since I have to switch the board to interface, I don't know if we're gonna be able to internally record the audio. Does that make sense?
YouTube is.
Yeah, but we won't have a backup. Let's say the audio goes in bad, it's gonna live bad.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
Cross our fingers, going good.
Right. Going good.
I wish I had twins just so you didn't have to go through that process twice. But you get it all out the way at one time because my oldest is 6. Are we still live?
So we got to watch what we talk about. That shipment, Gene.
Yeah.
Of sperm racing?
Call the triad, Gene. Call the Yakuza. What's the Korean version of Yakuza?
I don't know.
How do you not know that?
That's a good question.
What Korean are you?
One that was born in America and has very loose ties to Korea.
What are you, North Korean? You North Korean?
I'm what they call a banana. Or a Twinkie.
I don't even want to know what that is.
Yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
That's the terminology for, Asian Americans that just, I don't know a whole lot about Korea because I didn't live there. So the only thing I know about it is what my parents taught me, but that wasn't a lot either.
I've really never heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Twinkie, banana, either one. Yeah.
But you can't say it.
No. I just kidding. It's like one of you guys said fob one time.
Right, 'cause for black people, that's the equivalent of Oreo.
That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's something that we're not allowed to use, but for us, Twinkie banana. For me, I'm like Twinkie banana, whatever. Call it what it is. I would think
it is offensive.
But how's it offensive if that's who you are? If that's who you are.
An Oreo, that means that you're white on the inside. Yeah. That means you're.
What we gotta do? What we gotta do? Me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, but which means you're not like you.
No, I wouldn't. That's what I mean. I wouldn't call no one else. I mean, you know what I mean. Yeah,
Yes. Right. Oh, I get what you're saying.
Hey. People were taking the wrong way.
The brothers are looking at you like,
What episode is this? 31, 32?
32.
Welcome to episode 32 of On the Rocks. It's your boy Marcellus Wilder. We live. We took y'all behind the scenes. So we had to get some technical stuff handled. We got it handled. Smells like ass in here. Open ass surgery.
I think that's just you.
It's stinking my. No, we in the basement for real. Love to you guys, man. This is DeMarcus Allen episode 32. OJ Simpson 32. I'm not trying to hear y'all push back right now. I had an orange football growing up, and I was pumped. The juice football before all the other stuff. So OJ number 32. A lot of great running backs like myself who wore number 32. So respect Stace Bozeman, the best athlete I ever saw on the football field. Anybody ever heard of Stace Bozeman? Yes, I have. Oh yeah, legend right here. So what's new with me? What'd I do? We had a good Memorial Day, saw almost all of y'all. We didn't need our quota, so we wasn't invited. John be busy. He be hanging with Derek Fisher and them now. Like, look out, he'll be kicking it with us no more. Hey, damn, Fish ain't coming on. Fish, come on, dog. Don't be doing that. Oh, man, that's so good. What's new? My son played so hard during Memorial Day, he couldn't go to school the next day. So we in the car, I'm riding, all of a sudden he's real quiet. And normally I don't look over there because I like it, never disturb a peaceful child, right? Then he gonna be in your head, right? So I'm like, oh, good, I got some quiet. I was like, he too quiet. Let me see. He over there trying to fake these tears, right? He getting them though. He got crocodiles going down. I said, what's wrong? He said, Dad. First he's like, Dad, I'm coughing. I got the sniffles. Chew and all that. I was like, okay, I see it. And then I'm still rolling. I'm like, that ain't enough, boys. That ain't enough. Then he said, oh, Dad, Then he said, Dad, my shoulder hurt. I said, your shoulder? He was like, yeah. And I told him all the time, stop lowering the rim. They lower the rim underneath their chest, and they dunking doing all this. I'm like, your body ain't built for that. I said, it's supposed to be you jump so high, there's only so many things you could do. Not like, they over there flipping on it. So I was like, that's probably why your shoulder hurt. We still pushing. I'm going to school. Boy, you ain't gonna be home with me for 6 hours.
He's trying to protect his peace.
And then, you know me. My son hit me with the okie doke. He said, Daddy, I think my foot hurts. I said, no. Went right back home. Hey, we gotta take care of that foot. I put that foot in some ice, grab one of them big old pots in there with them, you cook them greens in, put some ice in there, some water.
I made that note. I was like, no eating at Marcellus.
Oh, God. What do you mean? You just ate on Monday. What do you mean? But those had...
It was fire.
And it was outside.
That was foot greens. So nothing, man. Just family life is normal. All good. Everything great. What's up with you?
I hate to tell you, he was drinking on Monday.
Drinking what? Alcohol?
Yeah.
What? In the juice boxes? I know. They were high. My wifey mad. She's talking about, why you get the sugary Capri Suns? Why didn't you get the organics? I was like, they go to carnivals. You think they got organic fruit boxes there? So like, move.
They were having a Capri Sun fight. Oh, yeah. And we looked at him, we were like, only rich people do that shit. That's exactly what we said.
Never in my life have I seen kids take Capri Suns and
splash
them up just to splash each other with.
Dang.
We were like, oh, y'all way too rich.
And a little ghetto, because, you're wasting a lot of good shit. Look, everybody has opened a Capri Sun and did the mistake of squeezing it.
Oh,
that's sucker. Yeah. Like, oh, dang. It's like you hit a line of Rick James.
I still do it with these. Right.
Oh, we got to get into that. What's up with you, man?
Man, all is well.
You look great.
Well, thank you.
Are you really in them streets, huh? You really? Boulevards. He's so old, he in boulevards. What you doing, dog? Why you dressing so fresh?
I'm so old, I'm in Lane.
Yeah, oh, shit, yeah, for real. You in them streets? You hanging out?
Yeah, I'm hanging out. I'm feeling good. I'm going to something tonight. My boy is does vinyl nights for Soho House.
Oh, that's yeah, okay. It's called Spotify. All right, so you going
Just a good reason to get out the house.
A real DJ going there.
Yeah, real good reason to get out the house. But all is well. No real complaints. Just looking forward to some good sports coming back.
Hell yeah.
I feel like we're in the dog days now.
No. But wait, it gets worse. After the NBA Finals, it's going to be dog days.
Sure.
It's going to get dry. We're going to be watching sand beach volleyball and baseball. It's going to be a
I
problem.
like watching sand beach volleyball.
They don't do it for me.
What?
No, I'm not going to lie. Not the ladies or not the looks. It's just not a sport because they hit it, they serve it, the other one sets. Set, and then spike, that's it. You ain't getting that ball over but 2 more times the rest of that match.
I think he's missing the point.
Oh, really?
Only talking about that.
Oh, that's it? Damn, y'all's nasty. That's how y'all watch sports? Pervs. No wonder the WNBA is struggling.
The shorts are too long.
Boy.
What shorts? You mean the leggings?
Yeah, right. But when they tried lingerie basketball, that was inhumane.
Lingerie basketball?
Y'all didn't see that?
No,
Basketball?
no. Saw the
Y'all
football.
missed lingerie basketball?
There's lingerie basketball?
Saw the
And
lingerie football.
Football, everybody
Yeah,
saw,
yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah, I've seen lingerie basketball. It's not what you think. Because does that count? What does hood version mean to you? Let's go.
With some big strippers.
I wasn't focused on the gym, so I don't know. All I know is how do you know they strippers? They thick. Do you?
And they were playing.
I don't know
heels.
strippers. No, I got too many aunties. Can't tell the difference. You just look like my auntie. Oh, you a stripper too? Thick with tats is not a stripper in my house. That's the homie. Nah, they didn't look pleasant. Let's just say they didn't look. Yeah.
I saw one where the lady destroyed her knee. Did you see that one?
That's the same one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So grand opening, grand closing. We basically saying that's how that went. Okay, so we're not investing. Eugene, he loves to invest in anything. This motherfucker.
What? No.
Well, just great stuff. But
Basketball, I think, could be done right.
no. Do you understand how their bodies move and like this? I don't want that.
No.
Football
No.
is better. Flag football better.
Yeah.
Nah. I don't think anything lingerie is good, actually.
No. Runway.
You got to have something for the imagination. That's why tennis works. But tennis works is not because they're in a thong. It's because they have a skirt that's just right there saying, "What are you thinking?" Right. That's the part we like versus, "Oh, I ain't thinking nothing. I see it." Or, "Ooh."
No.
I don't know.
Golf.
Oh.
Golf. Yeah.
Nah, that's just cool.
No.
It's more like
I got daughters.
Yeah.
I got daughters.
Justin's got daughters too.
Your feet is now.
I got a daughter.
Something ain't right. Like I like that. That's why I don't like strip clubs. I hate when hate when the animal falls in front of the gun. I need to shoot. Like I need to have something of resistance, imagination. It can't just be everything's exposed and then I'm supposed to be like, now what?
Right, because the hunt's the fun part.
The hunt for Red October. That's it. So
Yeah,
You're going with that one.
on flow. Remember that?
Your big old submarine.
I got sisters too. Now we got to get to it. This is not funny. Should we do the ambulance sound? Medics. What's up? Who are you and what's wrong with you, dog? Yeah, we noticed. Damn.
I think I'll be fine. I'm gonna give it till tomorrow. See how it feels. If it's not better, then
I love this ghetto prognosis you got. Like, I'll be fine. My knee doesn't fit. What happened? Just Blaze.
I was playing basketball, went to do a move that I've done so many times.
Sure.
Planted.
Mm-hmm.
My knee went left and my body went right. And I heard something. I don't know if it cracked or popped, but something happened.
You got Rice Krispie.
You got the little white dudes on that little brick, that little Rice Krispie brick. Snap, crackle, pop.
It's like a crack, like when you crack your knuckles. And
No,
I was on the floor for a little bit.
that's your
Got
knee.
up, I was able to walk off, but still trying to
You couldn't come back like Paul Pierce, huh?
Yeah.
I thought about it, like just to like try to run a little bit to see if I can get it, and one of them was like, "It's not worth it."
It ain't.
So I was just like, "Yeah, you're right."
Did he tell you that before you even went out there to play basketball? It ain't worth it. We're hooked.
I was footage because I was going crazy.
Really?
Switch your mic.
That's probably the problem. Really?
Yeah,
Oh, look at that. Switch up the mic. Damn. You got another knee for that motherfucker? Forget his mic.
Yeah, I need the knee more than
He
the
need
mic.
another knee. Dang.
Yeah, I was killing him. It was the second game we were playing. The first game, we played to 13. I think I had like 6. And then the next game, I had probably like 10 points.
All right, Al
And it was
Bundy.
literally the last.
And then all the opponents
All right, poke high.
I was
opponents
feeling
had
good.
nap time.
I know.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah.
And you know what it is? I got beside myself. That's what it was.
You were going
Because
too hard.
The game was going so good, and I was in rhythm. And the move I was doing, I've done it a lot of
You
times.
keep saying that. What is this move?
It was
You want us
just
to
an in and
ask?
out. No. I'm
What's
just
your
saying,
move?
Like it was a regular in and out. But
It looked
I
like you
haven't
went in
done
and out.
it in a long time. Haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, right.
So when I went to
I
do
need
it,
footage because I hate when somebody come back and tell me how good they were.
you know some of the people that were there. You can ask.
Who?
There was a couple of the dads from the school that was over there.
They don't know sports. Let me say
There's a couple that played.
Nah, I
That's
get it.
legit.
You were cooking and you went too far.
I went, yeah.
you
I
burned
tried
up
to
the
do
stove.
I didn't even need to do the move to get where I was trying to go, and I was like, all right, I'm feeling it right now. And then,
Damn.
now I'm feeling it right now.
But then we make a pact that we were going to be pickleball. Look, pickleball dad. It says it right here. And then we make a pact that we are going to stay
I'm still in it.
pickleball forward and
Justin's
basketball
still in
back.
the under 40 club.
I know
for a couple months. I got a little bit of time.
That's just on the driver's license. His body says over 40.
My body is about 50, to be honest. A lot
that's
of broken
tough.
bones and wear and tear. So
Yeah.
I feel it.
Hoops behind you, dog. Let it go. Can you? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Nah.
I mean, I've let it go to an extent. Like I'm not out there regularly like
Yeah.
I used to be.
I know.
I wouldn't dare try to play basketball right now.
But you would play tennis
Yeah.
because that's what you
That's
always
you.
played.
That's your
Yeah.
thing.
So that's the same for me for basketball.
Yeah,
like I've
yeah,
always done it. So if I go for long periods of time and don't do it, like it feels weird. I feel like I'm missing something. So
Damn, avoiding your heart, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
still got to get these buckets. Bro.
Over these dads that drop off. Man, you better get your ass. You better heal your ego.
It was just a couple dads that was there, but it wasn't like with the dads.
Okay. Well, what's
Shout
up with you? You
real
look
quick,
the part,
can we
huh?
shout out those ribs. from
Oh,
Memorial?
Rumbo ribs?
Is that whoever made those
Rumbo,
ribs?
yeah, Sean Laurent.
Man, I was thinking about them ribs for the past couple days.
Quiet Chef, that's his name. I went to school with him. He can cook, dog.
Them
Like,
ribs, like it just fall off the bone as soon as you pick it up.
They were gone by the time I got here.
Really? Oh man.
They were gone for real? I have 19 slabs in my freezers.
Right
I
now?
should have just
Cooked?
Yeah, we're going to do a cigar night or something. I got so many extras because
Let
he
me know.
made them obviously for Memorial Day, but really MJ loves his ribs like you do. So he made a bunch. I didn't know we ran out because I didn't have any leftover ribs, and I thought MJ just
I had
smoked
3
them.
plates.
That's Sean's joint. Your boy?
Yeah, Sean.
That
Yeah,
is
he
his.
can cook, man. He's a good dude. He's catering. He does a lot of big parties and stuff. He's out there. Quiet Chef, that's his name. Quiet Cook, that's his name. Who we got here?
I was trying to shoot yesterday too. No. I don't trust his knee.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, you
once
wear
I heard
brace to
you,
play pickleball,
once
so
I
I
heard you
know
say
your
her, it's
knees.
like nope.
Yeah.
And my knees have already been bothering me for probably like the past 2 years. But so usually when I play, I move a certain way to not agitate it, and I just did too much.
You need to start working the vibration plate.
Yeah, he
Keeps
told me the
those
K-tape too.
keeps the muscles
Yeah.
stronger because that's what you're gonna lose when you're not playing
Elasticity.
consistently.
Yeah. Mobility up.
What up, Gene? Who's this? What you got going?
All right, so I had Nate bring something Marcellus to the barbecue. It's a magazine from 20-something years ago. Let me share the photos. Let me share photos. You guys see a
It's
photo
right
of Marcellus
there.
in his 20s. Where is it?
At the second row, Street
There's that one
Smith.
up there, Street Smith. There's one in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you
On
a
the
question.
cover, baby. What you talking about? Why? That's why you
Right
couldn't
there.
tell me that.
Right there. He's got a whole page dedicated to him in there for the San Diego Chargers. Yeah. And he's
Dog.
got a 3-page article in Sports Illustrated.
Dog.
Yeah.
It was a day, dog. It was a day. I remember walking in. I had to go to 7-Eleven and get my own article. I was like, God dang. He was like, you in Sports Illustrated? I was like, really? Yeah, I had to
Bookstores and all
Yeah,
that.
I had to go up in there. What's
But
the
one of the
question?
things you wrote, or one of the things you said was, when I retire, I'm getting a Winnebago, a leather jacket, and being a groupie for Outkast.
Yeah. Told y'all. I told that story. Were you here?
Where's the
Nicky?
Winnebago?
Shit, we're out.
Where's the leather jacket?
Where's the leather jacket?
Get the Winnebago. That's me. We're Outcast. I go get a Winnebago. actually, this is so crazy, man. This is serendipitous. Last night we went to dinner, so we went to Funky. Y'all heard of Funky? It's a spot in
It's in this basement.
Beverly Hills. Yeah. Rumbo down here. It's called Right Here, Right Now. Funky. We went to Funky, some pasta place, really famous. Evan Funky, so look him up. Anyway, my boy has a Sprinter. And so this is why, look, I'm never divorcing my wife, but she could divorce me. It's just, because she gets places in totally 180s. I've been asking for a Sprinter for a decade. And then my boy, she didn't even know he had one. I already knew. And he's been over our house a bunch of times. He showed us the Sprinter and pictures, all that. She gets into her cocktail mood where she's like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I'm like, baby, they've been had it. Oh, we should get one. Baby, I've been asking. Oh, but you never told me, like, I was like, what the fuck? Divorce me. Leave me alone. Like, you making up shit right here. I've been asking. And now, I will say, he added a caveat. One reason I didn't get it, because I thought she was right, but she never said it, was I'm not going to drive it every day, right? So I had a limo back in the days. I converted from a truck. And Wednesday night, I'm not driving it. Thursday, I'm not. Like, you got to start forcing it. I ain't going in the streets, and I don't want all the kids always in it. So I'm like, when am I going to use it? My boy rinsed it out. He said all these Hollywood cats be hitting him up, the drivers hit him up. Yeah. He rinsed it out every day, he said, if he wanted to. So now.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah? You rent out your Volkswagen? Yeah. You rent out the Rolls? Is it Turo? Is that the app?
Turo.
Oh, you use Turo?
Because it sits more than I drive it. So, like, sometimes it sits for 3 weeks at a time. So I'd rather rent it to somebody else for $1,000 a day, and it's sitting anyway.
Oh no, that's sick. Yeah. So I'm about to get Winnebago, and then I'm gonna have my leather jacket. I already got that upstairs from Buffalo. Now we need Outcast, and then I'm back. But I really wanted to do that. I wasn't even BSing. I wanted to just travel, like, be a hippie for Outcast. But then they stopped making music.
We're gonna put a big ass picture of your face on that side of that Sprinter. We're gonna mark.
They won't rent.
Yeah. All marketing.
Furthermore, they ain't got to color it in. If it's black, just put some eyeballs on that. There you go. And then I'm get shot up at like I'm Biggie up in here. I'm gonna be shooting at me. I hate Wally. He said, what did he say about Kaepernick? Bah, 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 bah.
Thinking you in it.
Ryan Clark gonna ride by like, I better not, man. No, I gotta be.
I know somebody, if you really want to do that he rents Sprinters, like, to those type of clients.
Oh, hell yeah. We putting this together. I'm really about that. Love that. All right, who we got here? Casual. Wow.
I'm feeling the Italian side of me. John Baudino.
Stallion.
Is Ivan Lendl in this
No, we had Memorial Day. You can wear white after Memorial Day.
Oh, is that the
you
thing?
can't. You had the F1 happen in Monaco, so I'm just feeling it. I'm like,
you out here faking it on Ventura?
Yeah, the Encino version. I was driving my F1 Ford Explorer.
I thought that only applied on the East Coast. The white.
There's no rules.
It's hot all year.
Yeah, there's no rules.
That went out with Lady Gaga. Yeah. Like she wear white every day.
But I gotta say, I had the best dad moment this holiday weekend.
Let's hear.
I took my son out golfing for the first time. The two of us played, and he beat me on a couple holes.
For real?
Yeah.
Without you?
Right, without me. Like, he got a couple
sure.
pars, and I had bogeys. I'm like, shit, I got to stop coaching him.
That means coaching more.
He's gonna be. Yeah,
he gotta beat you in all the holes.
Yeah, no, I know. And then I came back and shot a 38 on the back nine. So I was like, I'm like,
what a setup for that. You gotta get all the holes.
All the holes.
You know I was on that. That was on purpose. I jumped off sides on that one. Give me the flag.
No, I want him to beat me. Yes,
of course.
How old's your son?
15. Yeah.
He a late bloomer. He should have been beating your ass. I mean, you ain't that good.
He wasn't into it as much. Now his friends are. Now he is.
Now
he's motivated. I don't have to push him.
Oh, that's so
He's
good.
out there every day swinging, hitting wiffle balls in the backyard. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. He goes, I want to go out. Like,
does he have like competitive aspirations or just social?
No, I think he wants to play on his high school team next year. So we'll get him ready. Hey, excuse for me to be out in the golf course.
I know.
Yeah.
And you're out there how often a week?
A couple times a week.
Couple times?
Yeah.
Okay.
You play.
Yeah, I've been playing. I'm going to Ireland at the end of July. Yeah.
You gonna wear that? I know.
No.
Hey, Ireland, he coming.
I'm coming. Yeah. No.
You look clean, dog. If I didn't know you, I think you were wealthy, not even rich. I'm like, he skipped rich.
Exactly. That's the look I was going
like,
for.
You can't even
today.
ask him for money. You got to ask somebody else that can like get to him.
This even got
That's
a
like
little hoodie.
linen. What is that,
Oh,
linen?
let me see. Did
Now
he
you
get
look
richer?
like the Unabomber.
Yeah, but now, you kind of poured up now.
Make sure the top's not pointy.
The hood is only for when you're on the yacht. That's what that's for.
Sorry, sir, I don't have any cash.
Speaking of getting robbed, what's up, Trip?
What's up? Welcome back, baby. Episode 32, Urban Magic, Leimert Park.
Oh, yeah.
Leimert Park.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to go through the jungles. That's why you see all the red.
Oh, man. Are they still active in the jungles?
Oh, man, it's still active.
I mean, at least in our mind, they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Huh?
Shoot, that's how I grew up. They were still there, so I'm pretty sure they're there.
Hell yeah. I remember because we used to practice right by the jungles. And every now and then, whether it was traffic or a wrong turn, you find yourself in the jungle outskirts. Boy, I'm telling man, she's no. I'll be like, man, they did such a good job of marketing. Like that was like a disaster zone, like gangland. And I've been through there before. It's fine.
It's fine now.
It's
It's
fine.
all right.
It's fine till it isn't.
It's good till it ain't, right?
Yeah, like, so for those who don't know, the jungle is where in Training Day,
Yeah.
Denzel and all the boys were when they had that big scene.
Isn't it about Baldwin Hills? Is that about Baldwin?
Yeah, it's right by Bone Hills.
Like at the foot.
Yeah, I'm about to say, not the hills.
It's the bottom.
And LA is on a scam right now. They are renaming all the hoods to Hills and Vista and like
Houses in Compton going for over $1 million.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, South Central Hills is going.
I mean, is that because of the school?
Compton Terrace.
No, I think they've been buying and flipping houses over there for like the past 2 years. I've noticed it where it's easily over $1 million.
Where do they go then?
Who is that? What do you mean?
Compton. Is it
What
because
you
of
mean?
gentrification? You know,
What do you mean,
everybody
you
else
people?
goes that
Didn't
get
sound like he said
gentrified.
you people.
Subliminally, you said you
He
people.
did. He said, where they go? What do you mean, they? Where you mean? Where you go?
Oh, it's like New York in a nutshell. Gentrification, right? You got pushed out of your homes and communities, and it's a downside of gentrification.
They went somewhere.
I got an asshole take on the word gentrification because I'm like, they didn't push you out. Like, I'm not lying. Two things I got to tell you, two stories. One, I grew up in an apartment, and it was Robert Gent. I remember seeing my mom write the checks to Robert Gent. I think it was $800, and we had like a one bed. It was $500, and it got up to $800. And I remember just saying, like, damn, whoever he is, he doing all right because we lived in a bunch of units in that complex. So
Counting how many people live
yeah, I was like, it's 32 times 500. Robert Gent's, come on, he eating. So then at the time, I'm too young to really get it, but I remember having conversations. I got older with my mom. I'm like, we need to stop renting. How can we stop renting? And she's like, well, we can't because we want to have the down payment. So we were kind of caught in that conundrum, right? But at the same time, we were on notice that if we owned it, they couldn't do anything to us. You just didn't have the money. So when gentrification comes, I'm always like, I hate when people say like they push you out. It's like, no, because this ties into my second conversation. I'm on an airplane once, and there's this city commissioner guy, and this is like early 2000s, and I'm really like eavesdropping. He's like got all these plans and stuff, and I'm like, oh, what you working on? He probably like, damn, dog, like I'm trying to get some privacy, big ass, right?
Nothing, nigga.
Where is they going? But he was nice, and plus, you're in first class, then he think, he one of the good ones, like whatever. Yeah. So anyway, he started telling me, breaking it down. So we talking normal stuff, and it's like, all right. And then he's like, let me let you in on some stuff. He said, right now you should buy downtown. And this is early 2000s. I was like, really? I said, Skid Row? I said, man, that's where you go get Guess jeans, and that's it. And he's like, trust me, they're going to build up. They're going to do all this stuff. And it turns out, obviously, Staples Center just got there. But they built up all of that property that we all see now that is doing good to great, and some of it's shaky.
No, that went back. Didn't it go backwards again? My buddy's bought in downtown, but it's not good anymore.
Well, the pandemic played into that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on when you bought.
That's
and
what
where,
I mean. If you didn't sell before the pandemic, you're
exactly.
money again.
That's why I said good, great, bad, because it was actually great for a while. Because Jesse and I used to live down there, so we were like, oh, we winning. And then That big building that Korea, I think.
They have the Korean, what do you call it? It's the red, blue. Yeah,
it was
part of the
$4
flag that's up
billion
there.
that Korea defaulted on it, didn't want to go through. Don't quote me.
Damn it, G.
Where did they go?
Well, hold on, no. Koreatown got gentrified too. I don't know where they went. There's no Koreans in Koreatown.
I took y'all around the world for this. The point of the story was he was like, LA is about to be southeast because no one wants to go too north and call themselves in LA. Like Valencia past there, everybody. Palmdale, Lancaster, like, all right, too far. Tehachapi, too far. And you can't go west because it's the ocean. So he's like, anything that's south and east, he's like, Compton, all that, we getting it. And you better go get it right now. So if you've noticed, downtown is still trying, but it's gone even more east and south to Compton. That's why the values keep going up.
Yep.
Yeah, real
They're
stuff.
gonna do what they did with Inglewood. It's gonna be the same thing.
Inglewood, yeah.
Inglewood's up right now.
Inglewood's up.
Them houses are expensive. Bro.
Hell yeah. Got a few friends over there. And a liquor store dude told me they offered him, did he say $3 million? And I said, how much you buy it for? He said, $400,000. I said, sell.
Yeah.
He said, no.
That's why you get pushed out right there.
Yeah.
People take that quick money
That quick.
and run, and then that money runs out because you didn't have a plan for it in the first place.
Right.
And now,
Well,
that
you also
value
get
keeps going
pushed
up.
out because if you're living there, let's say you bought a home for $50,000, but then what? You're paying taxes on $1 million valuation. You can't afford that.
Well, no, because your taxes don't out here. Your taxes don't change. You just based on what you bought it for.
Yeah. Bought that.
So
yeah.
like
He
the
pushed
tennis
back.
club, the LA Tennis Club is right on. It's like Cahuenga and Melrose around that area. They've owned that for like 100 years, and they're still paying the same taxes
Based on 100 years
from
ago.
The same
100
taxes.
years ago, even though that place is worth Lord knows how much now.
Yeah, a lot of those big places like this, those big entities, they have those long mortgages, I guess loosely you call it, 100 years, and they're paying like $1 or something. Like they just go all the way through with it to perpetuity. I get it. All right, let's get into some basketball, to some sports. Let's talk about the NBA recap right here. Oh, God, OKC, they went and stomped out Minnesota. We got to talk about that. So, Just Blaze, you said Minnesota was going to go to the finals. Well, the final is in, and they going home.
No, they going fishing.
You know what?
They going fishing.
I did say they were going to the finals, and to y'all credit, y'all were correct because I was giving Edwards a little too much credit. I think he is as good as he is. Like his skill level, he's there. Athleticism, the talent, like everything is there. But that same issue that y'all talked about, where he don't always deliver it. Like there's some games where it seems like he don't take off.
Don't you hate classes like this when you like, put your hand down? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean I'm giving y'all your credit though because y'all called it. I just thought with this moment, being that he lost last year, he wouldn't want that same result again.
You thought he was
going
going to step up.
I thought he was, and
you
then
gave
he
him a
did
lot
what
of
he did
credit,
last
and
year.
And it's good that you did that, and you should have because he's that talented.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know what to do with it yet. He
Yeah.
just has no idea.
Yeah,
what
he's
to
just
do
playing off of raw talent.
You know, he's
at this
happy-
point. Mentally, he hasn't fully locked in.
He's happy not being to blame for the loss, as opposed to being the credit for the win.
Right.
You know what I mean? You saw that in the interview from that last game. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't play bad. I made the right basketball play. Well, y'all got your asses whooped. So,
Yeah, he was the reason they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't show up.
He's at a crossroads, and that may be strong, but I'm gonna be real. Like an athlete, it's really easy to assess things I'm not good at because I know the gap between where I am and where they are, and it's easy to see. He is an athlete playing basketball still compared to guys who are just basketball players. It's just that simple. Right. So we've all seen it. We're seeing it with the best player in the game with Jokic, or sometimes it's Luka. It always changes. You can see a Tim Duncan of yesterday where you're like, that guy plays basketball. Now the rest of y'all are out here being athletes learning to play basketball, and that gap is his crossroads. Is he going to be devoted enough to get a bag that works in today's NBA, which is the three-pointer, credit to him, which is also getting other people involved, off-ball movement. He plays good defense, but it taxes his offense sometimes. Is he going to get devoted to this NBA? Because he still got this AI kind of NBA in him. And I'm like, dog, no one cares about that anymore. Austin Rivers broke down a great video of, like, That's yesterday's NBA. Now, today's NBA just have shooters all around, be able to slash, go straight line to the basket, catch and shoot, etc. Is he going to do that? And also, that comes from you got to kind of mature a little. And I hate to say it, but he's mature. I mean, don't get it twisted. There are some people more mature, whether it's their family situation, where Perkins was saying they married, or they just ain't caught up in the same stuff. And all that finite time is getting ate up by him. He going to have to really commit to it.
Yeah, for Edwards, I don't think it's his game that's the problem.
You don't?
I think it's the mental. Like, I feel like he needs to know that he has to always be locked in. And there's certain games where it seems like he takes a break. And because game-wise, the things that they said he wasn't good at, he got good at. And even with his moves, like you say, he dribbles a lot, but I think he makes moves to get to where his spots. Like, I never seen him really over dribble too much. He usually makes a couple of moves, gets in the paint, or he steps out for his shot. But it's always to set up his play. So I don't think.
You don't remember that transition from Kobe when Kobe kind of decelerated?
Yeah.
And then he started going back to basket a little more. The footwork kicked in. The post game kicked in.
Fadeaways.
Yeah, the fadeaways.
He used to
Kobe
used to over dribble a lot.
Yeah. So it's almost like I'm trying to rush Anthony Edwards to one on them line drives to the basket and them dunks. You see, he kind of calming that down already.
Takes a toll on you.
But two, there's so much more efficiency left in the game that he's not taking advantage of.
I post up too. He got the post move. Like, I feel like he has every facet of the game that he needs.
Mental?
He just has to know when to use what and to stay locked in all times. Because when he has his biggest performances, is usually when people have talked about him and said, "Oh, he didn't perform, or he could have did this," and then that next game he comes out and goes crazy.
Well,
and then gets comfortable again.
They talk bad about him before Game 5, and he didn't respond. That was horrible.
So, Justin, I will say something about your comment. Yesterday, he did look locked in. Yesterday, the whole game. What I mean by that is, the first half, he was, to his discredit, forcing the issue. Too many 1-on-3s, 1-on-4s, trying to take it straight to the hole. But you noticed, second half, he was moving more, to your point where he said part of the maturity is going to learn different aspects to the game. It's not working going 1-on-3, so what did you do? I noticed he was doing more shifting left, shifting right, using more agility versus just powering down like he's Adrian Peterson trying to get to the basket. So I'm hoping, my hope is he's going to understand his raw athleticism isn't enough anymore. Yep. And over the summer, he's going to learn some go-to moves, make it muscle memory, so that he has that, call it shiftiness, added to that ability to also drive down the lane. That's what SGA is great at. He can take off at full speed, but because you got to respect that full speed drive versus that little shoulder shove, mid-range jumper, or take that three, he's going to get there. I feel like SGA is a blend of Ant-Man's athleticism with Luka's, and the Joker's European, kind of slow game.
You think he has his?
SGA has athleticism.
He's
fast.
Ant.
He's fast. Let's say he's got speed. He
Yeah.
doesn't have the
reminds me
strength.
of
He's got the
John
speed.
Wall, like when John Wall was in his prime.
But John Wall was all speed.
He was all speed.
He was all speed.
He was elusive. Like, he used to get in that paint and just do everything.
But he wasn't the mid-range guy.
No,
the way the SGA shoots that elbow jumper. So I think
But
Ant-Man's
Anthony-
he can get there, but he doesn't have that consistent.
But Anthony didn't play well yesterday, and he certainly didn't
He
play
didn't
well.
play
in the
well,
first
but
half.
he was trying his best on every play, 1-on-3, 1-on-4,
But that's
turning
to-
it over.
But that's to the point. When you're out over-athleting, when
He's
you're
over-athleting.
over-leaning on your athleticism.
But he wasn't standing on the sideline letting Randall do it, letting Conley do it. He was trying to be the guy.
I don't have a problem. I don't think he has a mental problem. I mean, just be real. If he was my teammate, I'd be like, dog, you ain't in the lab enough. You think you are, but you got to remember, your bag should be bigger than everybody else's bag because look how much talent you got. So if your bag is just good enough as somebody else's bag, that means they're more efficient with their bag because they have this much talent, and y'all got the same bag. SGA got the same bag as him, if not more, and less talent.
Another thing,
SJ got a little more
More bag.
ball
More
handling.
bag. Yeah.
Anthony, I think the trade kind of makes him work harder this season, during the postseason as well, because they had the two big men with Towns and Gobert.
Yeah.
It seems like he's forcing. I mean, you got Randall for Towns and Gobert. I mean, who was the other kid they got rid of?
DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
disappeared
not,
too.
That's not working for him.
Disappeared.
He was no show.
To be fair, it was even on both sides because they both
I don't
got to
think
the
so.
same point.
They had the Twin Towers there, man, and it was easy for Ant.
But what I'm saying is they got to the same place as they did last year.
I
So
know.
it didn't really.
why change it?
Because you
Come right
never,
back.
because you
'Cause you
never
want
know.
more.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know.
They would
You don't
have
know.
been better with Towns over there, bro.
I think Towns' time was up over there.
But look what he's doing in New York. They can't hold.
Yeah,
hold
but that wasn't by himself though.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
doing that with
that's
Brunson.
tough.
Brunson is still carrying that team.
Yeah, that's tough.
And he's just doing his part.
I
Yeah.
just think Ant worked harder this year during the postseason.
What you said.
I think what Anthony is missing is some of SGA's game. Him not having a mid-range game when you're the most athletic person on the floor doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's not
'Cause
being
he
a
can
three-level
just-
shooter.
He can get to his spots.
Three-level scorer.
And just rise above everybody.
every time.
They
And
also
he can
play
score
two
like-
very different positions.
Right. I mean, I know. I'm not saying he needs to be SGA, but he needs a mid-range game. That's what he's missing. Those easy buckets. You got to be able to get in and get a 10-footer when your team needs a bucket, a 12-footer when your team needs a bucket. And he gets so high on his jumper, he can get to his spot, get to your spot, rise up, and shoot that shit like Kawhi Leonard does.
I agree with you, but he was doing that a lot his first couple of years, and then everybody told him he couldn't shoot threes. They like, oh,
Analytics.
They were
Analytics
so
kills
focused
game.
on him shooting mid-range, then they would complain about him not being able to take the long-range shot. So he worked on that, and now he's taking long-range, and everybody, oh, you should have taken mid-range. So it's like you can't win to lose there. It's, no matter what he does, it's going to be something. That's why I say it's mental. He has all the – he can shoot the mid-range shot. He can shoot the long-range shot. He can get in the paint. He has a post-up game. Like, he has literally everything. It's just knowing when to use what.
Right.
And, like, being locked in all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when to use what is what he's got to figure out.
I wish you. I mean, I really strongly disagree because I think
takes plays off.
he will plateau if he just comes back the same because you can see it series to series, year to year, and you can see how everyone's making these subtle adjustments that you don't make when you're just athletic. You got to be in your mental quotient has to change. Like you got to look at the game differently. So in this series, it was tough on him because he had to defend. And so he's taxed, where SGA doesn't have to defend the same. Even it's more of a team defense, and when we let our bigs go get it. And they had so many disadvantages for him. But if I'm Ant, I'm like, I have more than everyone else. This all starts with talent, and then we build on it. And if you got that foundation of talent, I would take – it's not even a mental challenge. I just can't let SGA do what he just did to me. Like, he scored 40 – in the game, your last game at home. And, like, I can't. Like, I just can't.
That's
and
the
I don't know
MVP.
how he allowed that.
That's a great
MVP.
point, but you just kind of proved more of another point.
Okay.
When you talk about he's taking too many threes, that plays into what he just said in regards to he has to play defense.
Yeah.
So most of the time we see it happen with LeBron. There's times like, LeBron, you're the biggest guy in the court and you're the fastest. Why are you settling for threes? Because he's tired.
boss.
So if I got to play, if I'm defending this guy who's an offensive threat and I'm guarding him all game and then I got to be the offensive threat also, I'm going to start pulling more threes because I'm getting tired. The SGA, he doesn't have to guard the players that he's not guarding Anthony Edwards.
That part.
So outside of Edwards, who else? There's nobody else really to have to worry about on the offense like that.
Yeah.
So he gets to take a break on defense, SGA, so he can give you 40.
Yep.
And he has the ball in his hand all the time. He's the point guard. So there's so many factors to
Plus,
the
Anthony Edwards gets the best defender
Right,
on him.
right.
Too. So
Yeah,
you got to
every
work
game.
hard on offense.
If you're going to be Michael Jordan, you're going to be
gotta
Kobe, you're going to be that lane of guy, which he is certainly being anointed to be. It
Comes
comes
with
it
it.
comes- it comes
Let's not
territory.
forget it's a team game. There's two things, though. SGA, and Anthony Edwards tried too. The beginning of the game, he didn't try to score SGA. He was passing the ball, right? Getting alley-oops to Chet Holmgren, open threes. His teammates were making the shot. The Timberwolves break their, first 4 or 5 three-pointers? Right? I think it was McDaniels couldn't hit the basket. He missed 4 in a row. So that was a difference that Anthony Edwards, if his teammates had made those shots, that floor would have opened up for him.
Yeah.
But they just clogged the paint because his
Yeah.
teammates couldn't make anything. SG had the benefit of his teammates were there making the shots so he could go do him.
Yeah.
So there's a team aspect. It's not all Anthony Edwards. His teammates just sucked that first period.
and the
The
defender.
last game,
yeah.
Randall had 5 points.
It's not gonna help.
SGA
you're
had
not-
20 at half.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like I love
But he
the team,
started
bro.
with 3 or 4 assists before he got his first point.
Yeah, but see, every time I talk to a basketball player, like they are interwoven into their team differently than any other sport because you got to play both ways constantly, and it's never a 50-50. So you can't get the bailout of my defense. You can't get the bailout if they miss shots. You make shots. Like in football, I can never score a 60-yard touchdown if you don't block. Yeah. But in basketball, I could go for 60 and I don't give a damn what you doing. Like I go, man, look, like you could try and guard me, Tariq. I can go get it. And I've heard that. I've seen that where guys just go heat checking. And Anthony, he's falling short of that. Like, we're going to keep saying this unless we see something different from him. What did you see?
Yeah. Well, it's the other side of it, the defenders. I mean, they've had time to really know how to play him, and if everyone's not pulling their weight, they're just going to hit him hard. So, yeah, of course, he's got the defense that's coming at him, and I think that's going to shut him down. And they watched the series where they were playing, and they played him down.
First team All-NBA. What's my big boy name? Muscles. That's who he had to go against.
You talking about
on OKC?
Yeah.
Dort.
Dort had that boy hitting the side of the backboard a couple times.
He's a big boy.
He a big
about
boy.
The same size.
They call him the Dorture Chamber.
Yeah. Dort is buff.
The Dorture Chamber?
Yeah, he a lot.
I do have an interesting question for you about this.
Self-declared.
Because you're talking about all the things that Edwards does and how they keep getting stuck at this point. Like this, they're not getting past that.
Yeah.
A lot of the critique that you have on Edwards and growth is literally the same thing I've seen from another player, KD.
Oh, God.
And I've never heard you say any of this about KD.
What did he say?
Before he ran to Golden State.
No, he flew.
And
he flew. Private, too.
First class.
First class.
And even when he left Golden State.
One class.
He's never gotten past the same point. Like, he always either just is underwhelming where he should have gotten multiple championships on his own. He got to the finals the one
I love
time.
how you're stretching this to make this a KD conversation
No,
because you know how fired up I get.
I'm asking you because you said this about Anthony Edwards, but that can apply to a lot of other players as well who did not get past a certain point.
Most
KD
players
is one of them, but nobody ever really talks about that.
Well, one is because, all right, there's only two ways we're going to talk about it. So Anthony Edwards is here. We're not talking about guys who are sorry. We're not. No one does. No. All right. So now we're going to talk about guys who fell off. We'll talk about you. And we'll talk about those who are greater, and that's very few. So KD's already been greater. Like, KD is kind of almost like he's just living out his golden years right now. I think that's why he doesn't get the conversation. Plus, he will come and shoot back. And I think a lot of people are like, I don't need KD smoke in my life because this is going to be literal smoke. He going to call you out for real. And players have tried, and he goes at them. And then some analysts have tried. Look, I think KD has had a tremendous career, no matter how you want to say it. Like he said, team game. So do they win those championships without him? I don't think they do. That's why they went and got him. But they won
two without him.
But they don't win the ones they won without him. Because that was the win. LeBron and them was like, 73 wins? Whatever. Get out of here. And if you're at your best, you set an NBA record for wins and lose. What do you think you thinking? You thinking desperation, and I think that's where it led to KD. So KD is almost like protected air just because of that.
I meant like in his prime. I'm not talking about now. Obviously, he's on the
he retirement home.
Yeah, he's that.
But in a good way.
His prime,
he could do whatever.
In his younger years, like around the same years, let's say Edwards, he couldn't get over that hump.
And they killed him for it to the point where he did go to another team that he knew that was going to look bad, but I'll have to do it. Will Anthony do it? Will Wemby go to San Antonio? Not Wemby. Will Giannis go to San Antonio? Will Giannis jump ship? And he already got a chip. And they still whispering about him maybe going somewhere else. I hate that narrative. I hate that resistance. Every coach could go wherever they want. Every GM could go wherever they want. Owners can do whatever they want. Players, you better stay still. I'm going over there.
I don't think anybody cares about players leaving. It's where you go and why you're going there.
That's caring about where I'm leaving.
The optics, and I know it's not a KD topic, but the optics for why that was bad for him is because they had just beat you. So, you were up on that team. They could have beat Golden State. Instead, you lost to them, and you ran and joined a team that just beat you. That just looks weak.
I'm not going to lie. That's one of the most childish things I've ever heard from people when they say, and I walk away, I leave the barbershop.
That's 'cause you ain't play basketball.
Well, I play sports. And if
you
a
don't
team,
do that in basketball.
Deion did it all the time. I don't know how it went with Deion. With San Francisco and Dallas, they were winning and losing. They just swapping the players. Haley going with, and no one gave a damn. We were like, get to the better team and win it.
Everybody did it.
And then when KD does it, it's like, and I'm like, Shaq, I mean, there's so many players that have done that, and we didn't trip. People just don't like KD, and they try to use that on it.
Because you think even if you take it back to playground
You got a
days-
problem with Deion?
No, like
Well, then Deion swapped teams, and he was going where it was more butter on that
But
toast.
Deion was a winner. He brought the winning to every team.
Well, the first time.
What about Kevin Garnett?
Well, Kevin Garnett did that in the back end of his career, so I don't fall. He tried for a long time in Minnesota and just couldn't get over the hump.
Oh, so he
so
gets
his
a
last
pass.
couple years, and they traded for him.
Oh yeah, he
He
gets a
did.
pack.
They traded for
You know how
him.
they traded
but
for
he
him?
asked- he asked
said,
out.
"Yo, you better get me up out of here."
I know, but he played there his whole career. And then
Now,
went
see,
to the
this is
last-
why it's weak. It's always an exception.
No, because here's the thing: like,
It's
'cause, like,
always-
even when you're a kid and you playing basketball on the playground, the two best players are never on the same team. You split them up.
Oh yes, they are.
No, you split them up.
I can prove it to you right now. How did y'all pick teams? Everybody at the free throw line, and first two to make it are captains. You remember that? Did y'all used to do that?
We did that, but then when you got older,
Hold
it
on,
was,
can we
all right,
start there?
You the best, we the best.
Can we
All right,
start
you
here?
on that team, I'm on that
Can
team.
we start here? Okay, so when we didn't know who was the best, because sometimes it'd be three, and then everybody's like, all right, shoot free throws, right? So that me and you shoot free throws, right? Now, I'm way closer to him than you are. So I'm like, that's my boy. So I'm going to pick him. And then you like, stupid, I'm picking him because he's a better player. So now the two other good players are on the same
You know what
team.
you said though?
But
if
what?
you didn't know who the better players
But
were,
even if you
then
do know,
no,
I just know my boy.
You never put the two best players on the same team.
that's a
If
lie.
That comes from playground. You don't do that.
Stace Bozeman was on my team. We didn't lose a game.
That wasn't basketball.
I don't care what sports.
Basketball and football is different.
He played both. Basketball.
He played basketball and football. Gumby and the Ball twins. What do you think high school is? What do you think Sarah Canyon doing? They over here like, you great, you great.
LeBron started that.
No.
LeBron started that
Are
when
you
he
kidding?
ran to the Heat.
I
That
went to
started that era.
Westchester in the 80s.
Low guard team.
LeBron didn't start Jack.
Every player been doing that.
Every player been doing
coaches
that. What do you think
A
Chris
coach
Shaw
gonna do
High
that.
is
That's
doing?
what coaches do. I get it. They
Oh.
coaches load up team. I'm talking about the player.
Oh.
Just like
That's why it's a weak argument.
no, it's because it's a difference between players and coaches.
No,
As
it's
a player,
not.
you usually
The ends
want
justify
to
the
go against
means.
the best.
The end justify the
A
means.
coach always wants to put the best players on their team.
Yeah.
A player always wants to play against the best players. That's how you show how good
the
you
best
are.
players outside of the ones I'm playing with. I ain't never been on a team like, you know what? I want them to be a little suspect so he can look better when I win. No, I want the best.
I wanna stay on the court.
Who you think the Pro Bowl is? Like, give me
That's
that
how you
Pro
stay on the
Bowl
court
roster.
when you're the best on
Look
your
at
team.
high
Yeah.
school. Look at high school basketball though. It's Mount Verde and prolific prep.
Well, yeah, that's what
IGM.
coaches
Modern
do.
day.
Yeah.
But those kids are the ones who are
The kids are
It's a
leaving.
different era now. Yeah, they
Kids
all
are
No,
like
those schools been around for
It-
20, 30
but
years.
it wasn't as the coaches used to
Excuse me?
recruit them. Now
me?
it's
We
players.
used to play them.
No, I'm saying back then it was coaches recruiting all them kids in. Now it's players who are saying, "I want to go play with the other." best
Man,
kids."
you are too smart to have that narrative.
I lived it. I'm telling you.
No,
back then,
you need to do
the best
self-reflection.
Top players used to
and
want
let
to
it
play
go.
against each other.
If your son or you don't have a son. Yeah, you do. He little
have
man.
a son.
He's just too young. I'm like, damn, you got a son? This big. All right, well, when he gets older, let him play with the ballers that he know. The best, not like,
he gonna
I
play.
want
I'm
you to
gonna
play
let him play
against him.
wherever he wants to go.
Okay, well, KD's
But
daddy
I'ma-
said the same thing,
I'ma
too.
encourage him to play against the best, so he can show how good he is.
Hell no, that is a myth. All right, let's talk about the best then. The Knicks are playing against the best team in the East. It's called the Pacers. Pace yourself. You want to talk so much, talk about your problems in New York.
I said it
What you said?
two episodes ago. I was like, the way they lost that first game, it's gonna be hard to bounce back. It was a gut-wrenching loss. Do I think it's over? No. Will it probably be in with the Pacers
over.
going? Most likely. Yeah,
It's over.
Just because of the
So you
odds.
mean we got to
3-1.
watch and suffer through one more game, but it's still going to be over?
Hey, if they win tonight, they go back to New York. If they got momentum, they can win in New York. Now we got a game 7. So
Hey man,
Wait,
can
no,
you,
tonight.
No, tonight's New York.
tonight's New York.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Tonight's
that
New
didn't
York.
add up.
The energy.
Oh,
What happened to the
yeah.
energy?
They done took his mind away.
I said it backwards. I meant if they win tonight, then they go back to New York for game 7.
Yeah. You've been on a roll saying stuff backwards, like you shouldn't play with other good players. But keep going. You're on a roll right
wait,
now.
The real
Marcellus,
ballers know exactly what I mean.
I need you to run upstairs and get some milk for Justin.
Why?
Because he's eating humble pie today. He's eating humble
I
pie.
have no problem admitting
He
if
needs
I'm
some
wrong.
milk.
Nah, he doesn't have that problem.
But the Knicks,
But you hurting right
the
now.
Knicks is still here. They still in it. I do think what happens tonight will be a big deal because I think if they can win.
Oh, you melting in the takes now. I think tonight's gonna be a big deal. Yeah, you about to die, motherfucker. It's
No,
over.
I'm saying
Turn your
how
punk
they-
ass
I'm
over. What
saying
are you doing
how
tonight?
they win.
Boy in the hood.
If they win tonight and they just barely win, Pacers are gonna destroy them next game. But if I feel like they come out and like are dominant, that momentum can help them in the next game. That's just how I feel.
Dog.
They probably will lose. I don't know.
All right, you know I love levity, even though sometimes it's inappropriate. So my grandmother, when she passed away, Grandma Blackie, love her to Grandma Blackie. That's the one who gave me my grit, my gangster, right? My grandma who used to curse all the time.
The one that took care of Uncle Gloria.
Why you reminded me of that, man? She couldn't play. Uncle Gloria couldn't go to Compton High and play no sports. She the first trans, or he the first trans. Messing up that beautiful cat. Stay over there, man. All right, so yeah. So I remember, so she in the hospital. She had, God, I forget it. It's like the cardiopulmonary, it's a acronym. All the old people get it. Basically, your heart is just going away slowly, right? So then she goes to where she got to have the tube, right? And you could just see the steps. And then she got to go in the hospital. And then she had a heart attack, but she got her conscience, all this stuff. And then I remember we were in there, and my sister is super close to my grandmother. Like, that's her girl. And so she sound like you. Like, she's like, Grandma's going to be okay. And I'm sitting there listening to her because I love my sister the most. And I'm like, Grandma's not going to be okay. Like, this is, every step is worse. And so finally, not to be too dark, finally, so she has another heart attack right in front of us, dog. This is crazy. And I'm like, when stuff gets harder, I get tougher. Like, I'll cry later. I ain't gonna cry right now. Somebody gotta hold this together, right? Sister losing it, grandma. So then the doctors clear the room. And I'm standing right there. And I think the doctor kind of called, like, all right, I could talk to him. He still got his faculties still. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, do you want me to resuscitate? And I looked at my sister, and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, for what? In my mind, but I'm like, and then I said, okay, let's see. Let's talk. He said, let me talk to you for a sec. And he came over here and he said, I want you to look at her blood. And I've never seen this in my life. Her blood was like almost clear. And I was like, nah. I said, that's it. And then so I had to go out with myself. So the point is, there's a certain time you could be alive, but you're not living. You ain't alive. I bring this dark ass story to come back to say, yo, Knicks is dead, dog. Like, Grandma!
I'll say this.
Their blood is clear.
If they win by 20 tonight,
Big blood is
they're
clear.
going to win the next game
Win
in
by
Indiana.
20?
I said if.
No, man. There's no if. The way Tyrese Halliburton is playing, there's no if.
jealous,
He
man.
is who Anthony Edwards should have been.
Mr. Overrated, huh?
Oh, man.
SGA is who Anthony Edwards should have been.
Well, but Halliburton took it
Halliburton's
to
the
that
same way.
SGA level.
Yes, he is.
Yo, he's
No,
sick.
he ain't. No.
No,
Yes,
just
he
for the
is.
playoffs.
No.
For the playoffs.
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
playoffs.
SGA
Right
is
now.
putting up 40 and going.
Dude, Hallie had
unstoppable.
32, 15, and
That
12.
game.
No turnies.
SGA is putting
no
up numbers like
No
that
turnies.
every
No
game.
turnovers. There you go.
SGA is doing that every game. Halliburton.
I don't know about every
games.
game.
No,
First
not
couple
every
series.
game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Is he
yeah.
averaging 30?
In general.
And he
Yeah.
averaging 30?
Third game.
Don't change the subject. We talking
He's
about the
averaging,
Knicks.
but he's
Yeah.
up and down. He's up
We
and
talking
down.
about grandma. Stay on the Knicks.
I didn't change it.
talking about
I
the
said they go, if
clear-blooded
they win by
Knicks.
20 tonight, they're going to win the next game. in
What if they win by
Indiana.
18, 16? I'm just
I
being
mean,
technical.
around there.
Okay,
But
so it got to be a big
it's
win.
that if they win big tonight,
Bits the starters in the fourth quarter kind of
yeah,
win.
like if they destroy them or win a really convincing game tonight, I think they can win the next one in Indiana. But if they just barely win tonight, it's over.
Okay, can I put you out your misery? I sent a link, and I wonder how many of you guys really looked at it, but it's okay if you didn't. It's a link to Chris Broussard saying the faces of the NBA. We're not going to talk about the Knicks. We're going to see what happens and then react to the Knicks. He said of the faces of the NBA, how Anthony Edwards could not be one and how they were forcing it on him, and then SGA, Joker, Giannis, etc. Tell me if someone's missing from this and what your thoughts are on this. He started with Dr. J as the first face. He said the last 50 years. So I guess he didn't go back to Jerry West or Bill Russell or whoever the hell.
That's cool.
Probably wasn't Bill Russell. It was segregation back then. So maybe not Bill. But Dr. J is the first face. Then Larry Bird and Magic. Then Jordan. Then Shaq and Kobe. Then LeBron. And then Steph. Now, is that the Shaq and Kobe part is kind of interesting. I thought it would be Shaq, not Kobe.
No, it's both.
It could be Kobe. Both, yeah.
It was both at 2 separate times.
Okay, let's go through that real quick because Tim Duncan didn't get his shine in here, but I
was
get
never
it.
the face.
He was never the face. Okay, when was Kobe the face of the NBA?
That
Shaq left.
yeah, it was
He
like
carried the team and won twice without Shaq.
yeah.
Nah, LeBron's in the league.
I feel.
No, because LeBron.
LeBron didn't win yet.
Yeah, he hadn't won yet. He was just like the new guy.
Okay.
But there was that
04,
window of, I'm going to say
05.
like 05 to maybe like
08.
2010.
So
was
when
like Kobe was like the face.
So when the
Yeah.
Spurs won, the Celtics won. I forget who else in there between Detroit Detroit.
Yeah.
Then it was like Spurs and Celtics. You said Kobe was the face then.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I
81
think-
point game was what 2009, I think. Yeah. So,
So he's the face.
he was the face of
81
the
point,
NBA.
he was the face
Yeah,
of
he
the
was the
league
face
at
of the
that point
NBA.
in
So
time.
saying
They were
2009, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Steph's been the face? Has
Yeah.
Steph really been the
Yeah.
face? While LeBron is still
I think
here right now?
Steph has been the face probably not. Well, he might still be. I think Steph might have became the face in maybe like 2017.
Dynasty run.
2018.
What dynasty? Winning
back to
one.
back.
They won 4.
Winning one, and then KD is the better player. He's not the face, obviously. I'm just saying.
They're not a dynasty for winning
Yeah.
all those, but they went multiple. Well, they went 5 years in a row to the,
Yeah,
to the finals.
yeah,
in
something
the
like
last
that. And
6
won
years.
4.
And won 4 out of the.
Okay, so Steph was the face. So LeBron's not the face now or then? Or
He has to be
I
in there
think
somewhere.
I think LeBron became the face around 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after
2012.
Kobe.
right after Kobe, after Kobe's 2, LeBron, the Heatles, those 4, and then he goes back to Cleveland.
Does the
But
NBA
then when he lose it, he beats 73 win Steph, and then Steph goes and get KD, and so how is Steph still the face? This is just me being devil's advocate. How you still the face if it's KD's the better player? You're the face of the league, and you're not the face of your team. And then you get one more, and you're the face again, and LeBron gets another one too. So LeBron ain't still the face.
There was a point in time where Larry and Magic were both the face.
Yeah. I
So
give you
I think
that.
that was the same thing with
Okay.
LeBron and Steph, and that's why their duels, their battles were such a big deal because
Okay, I
they were
get you.
both kind of like the faces of the NBA. At
Well,
that moment in
it's the
time.
rivalry that was the face.
Right.
So individuals, rivalries, those are what they're going to promote because the NBA is going to promote who they want to achieve their objectives. Is it to increase attendance? Is it and the change of the game to threes, like we talked about before? You got kids who are out there emulating Steph. He's the face of the game. That's who the next generation of viewers are going to be, those who go into the games, not the old fucks who's sitting around here, farts, like right here who are talking about it. They want the next generation. They don't want the old guys. It just gives us something to debate about, so they're still keeping it relevant, so they got to change it up a bit.
So
that's why Steph
does the NBA have a face right now?
Right now, that's what I'm saying. Who the face?
it's changing. They need to find
I think
one.
it's still LeBron. It's LeBron.
And I think it's going to be it's going to
LeBron
be
and
somebody
Steph.
with the most social, cultural potential because they have to get that. And what's happened on the WNBA. They need to find their WNBA side.
Oh, they need to find
they
their
need to find
Caitlyn?
their
Their
Angel
Caitlyn?
Reese and
Bingo. Yeah.
Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So they need
Who is it?
they need to
Who
find
you
it.
nominating? Who would you say for real?
John Morant had it. He dropped it.
Yeah, it's a lot of what ifs. It's a lot of almost.
Zion Williamson. What
he
if?
was supposed,
he was
supposed
supposed
to
to.
be the face, and
Can
didn't
he come back and do
perform.
it?
Like
No, he
didn't.
can't be the
It almost sounds like the next Jordan conversation. Like, oh, he was, and then he was, and then he. I mean, that's part of it.
It was for sure supposed to be Zion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they was handing
All
him
the money
keys.
was gone. Yep.
They was handing.
We
him the
might
keys.
not have another face in this respect. Social media, NIL meets social media meets marketing, which means I don't need the headache, which is what Anthony Edwards said basically in so many words. He's like, dog, for what? Like, all it comes with is liabilities and responsibilities, and all the pluses I get automatically. Like, Anthony Edwards at one time I saw in one game, he had 6, I think, commercials, like 6 different companies.
I think he's the next face of it.
Anthony Edwards, not with his resistance and not with what we've seen in the last
Not
2.
with his results.
Not
Yeah,
with
not
the
the
results.
result. The narrative's there. The media wants them,
results
but
don't always make you the face. It's popularity.
all the names we just mentioned,
All
they're all
these names,
champions.
this
It's a ticket draw. Who draws?
Not one of these names
Isn't yeah,
is
they're all champions.
disconnected
Just
from
to watch them
results.
play.
Not one of these names is disconnected from
Some of
results.
those guys were
And
faces
all of those
before
are
they had
champions.
results.
are all champions, and at the time they were the
Like who?
face.
Like who?
Some of those guys were faces before they necessarily had. Like Mike was the face before he got his first championship.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
No, he had to win it. But
No, he was the face.
It should be
before
many
he got
faces.
his
Why
first
is it?
championship.
No, because that was the 80s. And in the 80s, it was still Magic Bird / Detroit coming. Like, you were like, we know Mike's the best player, but not face.
The year before they lost, they won their first one in '90. The year before when they lost, he was already. I'm talking about the Bulls.
Yeah.
He was the face then.
I don't think so. I think
was the
Magic and
face?
Bird were saying he's the best, and the faces were saying he's the best. But the
had to prove
NBA,
it.
when I say face, I mean the NBA machine is with you, not the couch or the barbershop. Like, we know that. We look at it. We look like Anthony Edwards may be the face, but then the NBA is like, nah, we're not pushing that.
No, the NBA is pushing for
They
Anthony
pushing it for
Edwards.
No, I don't think they. I think ESPN is.
I think the NBA.
No, the NBA too.
Doesn't want it, but the NBA is definitely putting Anthony Edwards on the
So
forefront.
Anthony Edwards has that swag that I don't see in SGA.
Nobody
the
else has.
Europeans,
Oh,
the
yeah, of
Asian
course.
market, they
He
don't wanna see
Canadian. I
SGA.
love it, but
he's Canadian. He's
yeah,
too.
yeah.
He's too
We know you
grounded. Is that the best word? He's just such an ordinary dude.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see what he does over the off season?
Yeah.
He hangs
Yeah,
out with
that's
his
real.
boys from elementary school.
Okay, I
high
take
school,
that back.
right?
Anthony Edwards. I mean, you could say the NBA, but I really think it's. I just don't see. No, they are. They are.
There's
You're
the
right.
whole
let him
Jordan
win.
narrative. They're trying to make him the next Jordan.
Yeah.
For our generation, we love that style of basketball. The way Anthony Edwards is being propped up, the Jordan swag, that aura. He's the only one that has it.
got it.
Tatum has a talent, but he doesn't
No
have that aura.
personality. Yeah.
Right? It's like Tim Duncan, greatest player, dynasty, but he was never the face of the
but
NBA.
see, Gene, that's
Who
why
else then?
that's why winning is so important for Anthony Edwards.
No, that's
because-
what I'm saying. He
because
should be, but he doesn't deserve
It's
to
gonna
be.
be Tyrese Halliburton, and I'm gonna laugh. That overrated ass.
know
Oh
what?
yeah,
If he wins,
if he wins, I like. First of all, his personality, I like even more than Anthony Edwards, and I like.
He does
Anthony.
have a good
Dog,
personality.
he just seemed like
But nobody likes him.
because he likes everybody, so that's why they don't like him. You know the Mr. Pleasant. Everybody, why are you so happy? Like, people get mad when you happy. They're like, what's wrong?
But
What's
everybody,
up?
well, yeah, because Dwight went through that.
Yeah. In sports, do not be Mr. Happy unless you're perfect.
Unless you're that good.
Unless you're that good, and he just got that good in their eyes because they just said he was overrated. I like Halliburton. If I want to really export a player to the world and say, look at this guy, him. And
I'm
Anthony
still
Edwards is
taking
right there.
Anthony Edwards.
I know why, and I like that too, but he don't want it.
He's got the on and off the court swag.
But you got to earn it, man. You got to have the
hasn't earned it yet.
championship to
Earn
go
it.
with it.
I mean, he
you got
earns
to.
it. He's balling. Like he's.
But he
he's-
doesn't want it.
He hasn't won. I
Right.
mean,
If
he
you
hasn't
don't
been
want
there.
it, I'm not considering you because I know you don't want it.
If Jordan wasn't in the league, Barkley might have been the face at one point in time.
Yeah.
And he didn't want it either.
He didn't want it either.
But he was that good, and he had that persona, the characteristics of. So he could have.
I think Barkley quietly did want it because he
Just knew he couldn't get it.
acted like he wanted it.
But he acts the same way now. I think that's just
and
who he is.
and he wants it now. He wants to be the face of the announcers now.
I think he just. I think
I mean,
Barkley
he
is who
does.
he
He's
is, and
he's
he
an
don't care
attention
whether you
whore.
like it or not. Like
Oh, of
he's
course
just gonna
he
be
does.
who he
Of
is.
course he
You
cares.
think he's that? You
Yeah.
think attention whore? I
Oh,
don't think
for
he is.
sure.
Because he
For
didn't want to be
sure.
on social media for the long. Like he do everything to not be in the limelight.
But he is in the limelight.
That's because he's on TV. He has
Right.
no choice.
But that's because we're looking at him.
Right.
Some people say, look at me,
he
and
wants
some
to
people
be looked at.
He's just doing his job.
I don't think in an unhealthy way. I think he's like, look, don't ask me anything because I'm gonna tell you. Now move, and everybody else, no, we want to ask you more.
Right.
So I think that's his level. Versus we know some attention whores. Like they say
Shaq
anything.
likes attention.
Yeah, Shaq likes the attention more than Barkley. Can't you,
You
tell?
can see the difference between the two of them when you watch them. Shaq wants that attention.
Yeah.
I think they both do.
Well, yeah, that's your opinion. Well, here's the opinion I need from you guys. We need an opinion of you guys. Wait a minute, don't be dismissing me. You just caught that? All right, let's get into this topic right here because first of all, let's all be happy. Let's all say congratulations, celebration to Travis Hunter and his newly-wed wife, her.
His
I
newly
don't know.
non-prenup wife.
That's what we're going to talk to. Because they got married. So first thoughts on the relationship, not too tabloid, just whatever. But you can, weave that into prenup or no prenup. So that's the headline I've been seeing. Like, yo, he just married this lady and didn't have a prenup. I'm not a prenup guy. I don't like prenups. I like the sanctity of marriage and the stupidity of no prenup. But I like it, right? I didn't get a prenup. And my wife divorced me. She got it. and whatever that is, and I'm keeping the Sprinter, but she get everything else that I don't have,
I was
right?
gonna say you didn't even get that.
I ain't even get that. Be like Richie in the divorce. Fucking around with Steph Curry somewhere. I ain't got no Sprinter. Nah, but tell me, what's your thought? I know. What's your thoughts on prenup, no prenup, Travis Hunter situation?
I think it's a tough one. If I remember correctly, Kobe didn't have a prenup either.
No.
And he got married super young and to a high schooler, basically.
Yeah.
And everybody said the same thing about that.
That's a good example.
And
Great
I
example.
hope everything works out great for Travis Hunter. We don't know anything about him, and we don't know anything about her. He seems, supposedly he's one of the nicest and smartest guys around. So hopefully he knows what he's doing. But
That don't relate to women.
I'll tell you what, it's
Smart ain't got nothing to do with this divorce.
I was gonna say,
But stay on the prenup lane. Like, we ain't gonna dive into his relationship. I mean, look, people. She's a stripper, and I would have married her. No, I would. Yeah, I would have. There's one in Toronto, but let me stop. But she was that bad. No, my teammate actually dated her, and I'm not gonna say his name because that's not flattering. But he was engaged to a stripper. And then we were clowning, jokes. We knew where she worked, and we finally went up there because we knew them all. And we was like, who are you engaged to? And he went up there, saw her.
he was engaged to Cinnamon.
And Cinnamon, one of the 5 finest people you ever seen with your own eyeballs in your life, because she was. And we were like, he was a star, too. So it wasn't like he was like, oh, well. And we saw her, we was like, oh, yeah.
Wasn't it Joe Johnson or Paul George? One of them, I think.
Paul George.
Guy with a stripper.
Yep. So prenup or no prenup, we could go that lane more than that. What you thinking? Look all that divorce talking, right? He going through PTSD in this month.
He should have had a prenup.
For what?
He should have had a prenup.
Why?
Just in case.
In what? In case of what?
In case it don't go right.
What? So you gonna wear a helmet in here just in case the ceiling falls?
I'm gonna wear a gas mask in here just in case.
Open ass. OAS.
Yeah, that's what it's for. It's a helmet in case the ceiling falls. It doesn't, and it can be pretty fair. It can be something that sets her up and the kids for life, of course. But he's playing with half.
But have you ever heard this? Some people don't mind getting divorced because if I get divorced from her, she only gonna get half. Staying with her, she getting it all. And I've seen that before where you've been in a relationship where they're stealing all your energy, all your joy, and all the money because she got access to everything. So divorce becomes a good outlet because you're gonna get half. I've seen people smiling through divorce, like, take half this stuff. I don't give a damn because you with me is taking all of what I need and all of what I want.
Well, those are two different arguments.
That is.
I'm saying.
And even they should have had a prenup?
Right. He's young. She's young. People change as they grow older. And that's a fact. Everybody changes through your 20s into your 30s.
Yeah.
And
Right?
number
So-
one, go ahead, Rich.
So I think
You act like that was an interruption. It was. I mean, like, that wasn't even like, he didn't even catch a syllable. Came between two consonants.
Go ahead, Trip.
No, and I was gonna say, and number one, with a prenup, they had problems before they see. We don't really know the relationship. She dissed this dude, man.
She did.
So what? You been dissed too.
Hey, but
Your wife ain't never dissed you.
That's what you
Yeah,
interrupted
I've
for,
been
Trip.
dissed. Hey, but you get up. You get back up. But what I'm saying is, that's your career, man. You worked hard for this. You got here. She didn't.
No, they did.
No.
Don't do that to her.
So no.
After them games, when everybody was cheering or booing or in between, he confided in her. That's valuable. Therapists are charging money for that, and your wife will too.
So Richie,
I'm not knocking that he didn't have the prenup signed, but you got to know her better.
Do you have a prenup?
I don't.
But, yeah, but she has a family.
I wouldn't surprise.
I wouldn't. But you're right, my son. I wouldn't because
Why you ain't get a prenup, Trip?
I ain't rich.
No. Chris Rock said it's people who ain't rich who really need a prenup. He said if you got $1 million and you lose $500,000, whatever. But if you only got $1, you lose 50 cents. Ain't nothing to buy.
And if it ain't love, you don't need to be there.
Ooh, I'm with you.
If it ain't
So
love,
that's
no
two
need
no
to be
prenups in here.
Oh, Richie's got a logical
Well, that's-
reason
wait,
for
who's
the
the
prenup.
second one? I'm sorry.
Tripping me?
Oh,
No
you-
prenup.
No
Yeah,
prenup.
okay.
No prenup.
Logical reason, but I also no prenup. Here's why. And there's some other guy I read an article about. He's owner of Barstool Sports, but if you're, it depends on the situation.
Dave
If you're
Portnoy.
with a woman who's been there since day one, where you've had nothing, she's not in it for the money. She's in it for you, and she's there to be your partner, and it's an equal relationship, right? So, the prenup logically makes sense, but at the end of the day, 20 years, 30 years down the road, you've been there since day one. If we get separated, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. It's still like, hopefully that's what happens. That's what David Portnoy was saying is they're divorced, but his ex-wife still has access to all of his accounts because his words were, she was there from day one. When I was broke and on the streets, had nothing, she stayed with me, stuck by my side, supported me. So she has everything.
Guess
of
what
mine.
Dave Portnoy never was? He was never the #1 high school recruit in the country.
Yeah.
No, but
He was
what I'm getting
never-
back
he
to
was
is I don't know
never
the
a
dynamic of their
unanimous All-American.
relationship. I don't know if
Yeah.
that
He
girl's
was
been-
never an automatic first, second draft pick. Never, ever,
But was
ever.
this
That's
girl
different
with
than
him
Jeff
before
Bezos.
he got the
That's-
money?
Yeah.
Was
Her
she there?
His
There was-
wife's family helped him
Yep.
build Barstool. So that's a very different
Oh, okay.
scenario.
I didn't know that. I
And
didn't know
on
that.
top of that, it's not analogous because reportedly, Travis's wife now, her brother told her date him, and she was like, that ain't my type and all this stuff, and he was like, you don't know who that is, and he was already Travis Hunter.
Right.
So you ain't got money, but you got currency, or you got
There's value there.
There's capital
He had
invested
money,
in
dude.
you. Or
In
Well,
that
probably
context,
got money
I would
too.
be on Richie's side. Prenup makes sense in that
And
context. Yeah.
those are totally different. I mean, Mackenzie Bezos married Jeff Bezos. He was just a little ugly dude with a dream and started something in his garage. He was never destined for it like Travis Hunter was. Everybody knows Travis Hunter.
Did he have a prenup? I can't remember. No, yeah, because
But he didn't have nothing.
He didn't have nothing.
He
Yeah,
didn't
you
have,
gotta start with
everybody
nothing.
knew Travis Hunter
Yeah.
was. He's been the best for years.
Yeah.
So they didn't even meet under those same expectations.
So what would you say now, knowing that
I would
she
do
actually
yeah.
she had a
I'm
heads
for
up?
prenup with that context.
Oh, damn, we lost one.
Yeah.
All right, 2-1 Holmes. All right, who we got here?
So I think the whole
Do you have a prenup, first of all?
I don't.
Damn, you know you got money. You
But that goes to what you just said. But I'll comment on both of those things. The first thing, I think the whole prenup with Travis Hunter is overblown because, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. The prenup it only protects what you had prior to the marriage.
Supposed to.
So he's marrying her now, and he signs his contract now. They're already together.
Yeah.
So the prenup, whatever he had, I guess, on his NIL deal before this, is the only thing that that she would have access to.
She was like, when's this wedding? And they were like, end of May. She was like, you
gonna
mean
move
end
this
of
up.
April?
Yeah, we moving
You
this
mean
up.
before the draft? They was
Yeah.
like, sorry, man, we're all booked up. I said, damn it.
Right.
All right, we going to City Hall. I bet you they went to City Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Right before.
This was just like the public
This just for the
display.
public.
They had already
Yeah, he got the car, the Brabus and all that.
So wait a minute.
Right,
So
that's
if
what I'm
all
saying.
of that happened, he definitely
need
needed
a
a
prenup.
prenup.
Yeah.
I don't know if it happened, and who gives a damn?
If it did, though.
I'm still no prenup because I don't even want to mess with what I'm thinking of you, and that it's just money, dog. Why do we lose so much sleep over some damn money? Like I
You can
know
say
it's
that when
such
you have
a,
money.
Huh?
You can say that when you have money.
No, because I thought that growing up. I hate when people do that to me too. People always say that, like, dog, you know who I am? The same as I was when I was younger, like the core, and then some of the outer parts have changed. But I was a very happy kid growing up with not much, if any. Who cares?
Yeah, but your whole adult life you have had.
And
so
makes
the,
a difference.
the stress
How?
levels are way higher as you get older.
The only thing I care about for money, and this is to your point, so I'm giving you all the credit, is because I got a family and kids. Me, fuck it. You can take mine. I told everybody because they were getting on my nerves. I think like when I was retiring. No, for real. Cause I was like, dog, why y'all keep asking for money? I was like, come with a plan. I'll invest in it. You just want money. You're gonna be right back here. I don't want to give you money. I give you a seed investment. Give me a plan. You always want us to do all this thing. I said, you know what I'm about to do? I'm going to Puerto Rico. And I'm not coming back. And I got enough to live. And I didn't even know how much Puerto Rico cost. I was just getting away from LA. Like, fuck. I was like, give me a real pertinent plan that this money's gonna grow with you and for you. Nothing. But everybody want their hand out. So I always looked at money like, dog, keep the lights on. Make sure I do want my kids to be rich. I ain't gonna lie. I want my kids to be spoiled.
Everybody does.
Like nasty third base with a silver spoon spoiled. I do.
But would the prenup make a
But not me.
divorce less ugly? Would having a prenup make the divorce less ugly?
No, you see a
Still
ton
get
of
it
ugly
still gets
divorces.
ugly, yeah.
Because divorce,
'Cause
is,
they wanna tear
divorce
it
is
up.
ugly by nature.
Okay.
Unless you consciously make it less ugly.
But the prenup makes it so that you don't have to fight over the
Well, it
financial
depends.
asset.
If there's cheating clauses, there's all these other clauses
okay,
in
okay.
there.
See, I don't know.
Yeah, that you got to really go undercover.
Sounds like
and
John, you got
understand
one.
those. No, I don't have a
Explored. Explore the options.
no prenup.
No.
And I'm for prenup, especially in this situation. And because she may be great, but she's got a family.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And family, and so you don't know who she listens to, and that's where it comes out of that person, right? Is she family first? Is she gonna listen to her family versus her husband?
Yeah, because you get into that emotional context
Yeah.
once you get divorced. As soon as you get somebody break up with you, you break up with them.
Yeah.
They're dead to you in some respects, right? And then if somebody whispering to you, hey, you need to, and then that turns into, oh, they did you wrong. Yeah, I can see all that. But I'm just the one that's sitting in court like, Your Honor, let me make this easy on you. And lawyers, I don't want to pay y'all. I want to pay her. How much? Like if he gets $100 million and then it's over and then she's like, I want $50 million and I'm gonna get it. And I'm like, here. Shut the shit.
Okay,
Like,
so
has anyone ever done that?
It's not that simple. 'Cause
Yes, it is.
No,
if I got 100 and you want 50,
no.
I never had 50 million.
Now, yeah.
So I-
$100,
I was playing.
$50.
Yeah, but
If somebody was gonna go eat your piece up for $150 and you got 100, you wouldn't give him 50?
No, so the reason why I say that is my brother's going through it right now. He's going through divorce, and I'm helping him with that. And my honest argument with him was just go 50-50. But they hate each other so much right now that out of principle and ego on both sides, they will screw each other, even if it means they lose everything they're fighting over, because it's just blinded by hate right now. There's too much emotion right now.
Y'all catch that joke in there? They might get back together if they screw each other.
One more time. Do the same thing though, but you're right, man. The separation is hard, bro, and you don't know what you want out of it because
Who going through it?
Jeff going through it.
Oh, really? That's why he's so skinny.
Yeah.
Damn.
Was that the one on side?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's.
Oh, he going through divorce?
Yeah,
Dang. How long was he married?
18 years.
Oh, my heart.
Dang.
Finish. Finish. What Coach James say? Finish. Finish it. Come around that 400, you better
But
finish.
you remember Kobe's parents disowned him for not having Vanessa sign a prenup.
Yeah.
It's serious to some people, but Kobe said, "I love this woman." Yeah. And this is love.
Yeah.
She does. I don't need her.
He should
her
have signed
to
a prenup too, though.
I know, but
I don't. Well, first of all, if my mama and daddy came to me and said you need to sign a prenup, I'm gonna say you mean you suggest I sign a prenup. And then if they overstepped those bounds and said any more than that, I'm like, now you cutting yourself out. Like you could.
That's what happened.
yeah, but
That's what
That's what
Kobe
happened.
did.
Yeah, like that's serious. Like who the fuck? Like dog, you create kids, you don't control them. Like now when they get older,
They suggested it, though. I don't think they trying
and
to
Kobe
make
just overreacted.
hey,
That
Marcellus,
love will do it to you, huh?
you're creating generational wealth, right? And so now your kids, you can flow money down to them, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't fortunate to have parents with a lot of money, so they don't really care what I do. But if they have the money, and they're like,
That's true.
You better get a fucking prenup because I'm not giving my money to somebody else, and based on how much they've already allocated to their accounts and trust funds and how you hide it. So you're gonna have to think about that because.
True.
You have created generational
That's
wealth,
true, huh?
right? So you're going to think
trust
different.
comes
Don't
into
drop
play.
it.
This
A
is
living
comes to trust and planning to not give them the money because,
I don't trust Olivia.
You
Fuck
may
that.
have a say. Yeah.
Fuck it up. She gonna trick it off. It's gonna be burnt. She about to burn her money right now. Olivia's gonna be broke.
She went you to the campfire with your money.
I said it about
Very
my kid.
rich.
I think one of the best points what John said earlier is you don't know the fam, like you don't know the
That is
family,
great.
and you don't
Yeah.
know who she's gonna listen
Oh,
to.
yeah.
So yeah, you could love her, and you can be like, all right, I know her character, but really all that time and work that he's put in to get to this point to earn that type of money, literally that can just go to build a whole other person's family that don't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
All off of
Great
that
point.
one decision.
And we already said that her brother had to tell her to date.
Yeah,
So
right.
that
Yeah.
shows you
Sketchy
right
as
there.
hell.
I was about to say we do
was
know
the
her
setup.
family because her family's like our family, and everybody family large. Large is the same.
I don't know
Like
how
you got
much-
some crazy uncles, some crazy aunties, somebody who's scandalous, somebody who a freak, somebody tripping. You gotta hide him. You gotta hide her.
I don't even know how true it is, but she said he was ugly.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we all got eyes.
Yeah, we all. Yeah.
But what I'm saying,
What? Travis Hunter ugly to you?
but
Me too. But I'm just no. But here we go. If there's anyone in this room, he look like you. He look like you. He look like you.
He don't look nothing like me.
Nothing wrong with it either.
I think we all looked at you. when you said
Why aren't you guys looking at me and John?
It don't matter. Like that's one thing about a dude. It don't matter.
No, it don't.
It don't matter.
That's why I didn't come up here. Like we didn't talk about how he looked. It's just, you know, he got that check. And
God. So all right. Show of hands. How many are in favor of a prenup? One. Damn, we lost.
if
the
I'm
room.
Travis Hunter, I'm in favor.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, prenup,
Okay.
man.
And then
Otherwise-
you too.
Yeah, if I'm Travis Hunter.
Okay.
She said I was ugly.
Yeah, I think different. If I'm
I don't
not
trust
him,
her.
I think differently about
I don't trust
prenups.
All right. 5-on-1 then. Yeah, I'm doing it.
It's
All
old
right.
school.
But
Prenups are
anybody,
based on
no
who
one
you
has
are.
a prenup in here.
No.
Ever. Never. You punks. Everybody talking that shit. Oh, your family. Oh, you gonna go give me. Oh, no. Baby, don't you sign. I'm scared to sign. Y'all were scared to ask. Admit it. All you punks
I knew mine
were
before I
scared.
had anything. So,
No, that's a lie.
no.
Because people always say you knew her from day one. Day one, your mama only knew you. And then when you
I
met
ain't
her,
talking about when I
you
was
had
born.
a job. You had something. When we say the trip, what did Chris Rock say? People who are poor are the people who really need a prenup. What were you
I
thinking?
mean,
with
that's
your-
Chris Rock's perception. That ain't my perception. At that point, I mean,
Where were you working?
I didn't have enough. I was
Where were you
working at
working?
TV.
You were working at TV, and you had a Rolls Royce on Turo, and you acting like you ain't had no money.
I didn't have Rolls Royce back then.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I
listened to
didn't have
Rolls-Royce.
enough to have to worry about that.
You know, exactly what you said. At that point, that's not even that's not on your list of concerns, a
And I knew
prenup,
I
when you
carried
got
it.
nothing.
Damn, my wife
That
got
young.
me because I
You had it already.
I already
You
had
had
$5.
concerns, yeah.
You got.
You had a lot.
Why does she act like that? She don't be cooking and doing shit. She's like, shut up. I take after her.
Marie's walking around whistling.
You hear her whistling down the stairs.
She's asking your ass for a prenup.
Happiest person in the room. Not a worry in the world.
Anne Marie doesn't want you taking her
That's
money.
the real question,
She doesn't
John.
want you
Hey, Anne
taking
Marie,
your
would you
money.
sign a prenup?
You're not taking any of her money.
Marcelo's like, how about tacos for dinner, honey? Good idea. They can get the
Yeah, go make a
Make
cup
me
over.
3.
Jody.
Make me 3. And I don't like ketchup on them.
Oh, y'all made me throw this paper. Damn, think about that though. Half of this paper's hers.
The realization.
Half this notebook. I can only throw half.
She's like,
of it.
don't throw my half.
You ain't even gonna have this if that go down.
She said, don't throw my half.
He gonna be back living downtown.
I ain't taking this no longer.
She's like, good, stay down there. That's your half.
Go get your Sprinter.
Our sprinter.
It's like, sprint
Her
your
face
ass
is going to
out
be on the other
house.
side.
No. All right, let's talk about something else, man. Because, damn it, y'all got me thinking.
No
Don't
wonder
do
on
it.
Memorial Day she said, welcome to my house.
Wait a minute, what kind of hug she give you? Hey, he went low. Hey, dog, y'all like me when you see somebody hug your wife? I be watching their pinkies. I be like, this little thing. Sometimes somebody hug
Their
they be like,
pinky?
they be like, yeah, 'cause the pinky's
Try to
the
sneak a
lowest.
touch.
It's the lowest. And if it go behind that waistline, I'm like, who does that, partner?
What's up with that?
Who does that?
You hug wives.
Who
You
that-
got to give
please.
church hugs
Are
when
you
you hug your
kidding?
wife.
Oh, I see cat. Look, I could get you I could start filming cats at these functions and stuff. Oh, and then let some sauce get into it. They be like, yeah, and then they go like this. Oh, she's so cool. And then
Don't let that hand slide.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that hand slide. I'm
That's
like, Pinky.
That's dirty macking. What you call that dirty macking?
Dirty back.
Or you see it at the club all the
do the
time.
hug like this.
You ever see some
The
dude?
side.
Yeah, he be like this, standing here, and you got to walk in front. You be like, yeah. So you like, dog, I know you got more room back there, but he stayed right there. He be bowled up, and then your wife got to brush him.
Swipe.
Oh, swipe right on his ass. And he just sitting there like,
Gyrating.
you motherfucker.
I did not need to see that.
Watch. Every time I'm out, I'll be like, hey, dog, you can back up some. Come on, man. He's like, oh, my bad, Wally, my bad, Wally. All right, let's talk about Carmelo, who said he jumped back in the game, the media game, though, because he's obviously going to be on NBC doing basketball like Michael Jordan. He said he got tired of former players especially doing some character hunting. Choice words right there. He said basically, look, guys are now not talking about the game. They're not giving deep analysis. They're not really doing that. What they're doing is just talking about how good they were or how good you are or not, and really just attacking you versus the game. So I know we had the Jordan conversation. Let's kind of like merge those two. What do you think, Eugene, about Carmelo saying, I am strictly in the media to change the narrative and stop this character?
I love what he's doing because I watched him with Paul George, did a podcast with him on it. And one of the things that's missing with today's game, like yesterday, right? What are the comments? Oh, Lugent, that's such a nice name. Talk about the game. What are we doing talking about how nice Lugent's name is? Because when, my analysis of Anthony Edwards is, why is he driving 1-on-3? You'd stop doing it. And what Carmelo is saying is, he's played the game. He studies footage. That's what he lives for. I want to hear someone tell me, why is Anthony Edwards playing that way? Or what can they do different? Who's that old coach that passed away recently? He is the Hubie Brown. I loved his commentary. He talked about his analysis of the game, explaining the game, helping viewers understand the game, and I think that'll do wonders for the ratings versus just hearing, that was a great play, good screen. Any casual fan's going to say the same thing. I caught myself saying, oh, it was a nice play, and the commentator said the same thing 2 seconds later. I don't want to hear nice play. I want to hear what's happening there. What is your analysis of the game? What's going on? Explain what's happening. So I love that Carmelo's going to do that. I love that we're getting someone who's played recently. Shaq and Barkley, Hall of Famers, all kudos to them, but they haven't been in the game for, 20 years, 25 years? They never played in this type of offensive system. I think Shaq retired in 2010?
Yeah, it's like whenever.
Almost 20 years ago.
The iPhone was created in 2007.
But Melo could
put it
probably
that
still,
way. Like a lot of shit
Carmelo
has
could
changed.
still probably play in today's game, to be quite honest. He could probably still come off the bench for any team right now. Right. So I love that he sees the game with modern day eyes, modern day, he can bring a modern perspective to the game.
That's what made J.J. Redick good on TV, his analysis. And maybe Carmelo can do the same thing and fill in that plug. Because you're right, you need somebody to talk actual basketball, as opposed to just tell you what's going on the court.
If that's his role. Because the NBC, they still need to make money. They still need views. They still need viewers. And they got to stay what's happening out there in social media is a big aspect of it because what they're posting. So the character assassination, unfortunately, gets views and gets people talking, right? Like Stephen A. has capitalized on that. So you're going to need someone to pair him with if he's just sticking with the technicals, because not everybody watching is
You know what he actually said, which is interesting? One of the things he also mentioned is I want that dialogue back and forth with the fans, almost like what Marcellus's idea was. Pair up the pros with the NARPs. Carmelo's a pro, but he wants to engage with the basketball NARPs. So he did mention that.
Okay.
So to your credit, that's...
Yeah, it's tough because John nailed it. Like, he's going to find out really fast that deep dive is a lonely place. Like, cats just, one of the things that I used to always hear is critique from executives, like when we used to do our analysis of the audience and what they thought about you. And, people like you. You seem bubbly and fun and you're smart or whatever. But then the critics and the criticism was, yes, sometimes you need to dumb it down. Just like, and I thought that was an insult, not only to me, but to the audience. I was like, damn, what you mean dumb it down? Like, they were like, just talk like simpler. And I was like, but I talk in these complex stories. And they were like, well, that's not what's resonating. It's when you do this and you just, almost like when I really in my mind, I'm like, say it like I'm talking to my kids. Mm-hmm. And they were like, that's the best version. And then I start watching people who were successful, and I was like, wow, if you really want to do it, like I thought that they were speaking at a, intelligence is tough, but they were speaking at a level where my kids would sit there and go, oh, okay. And I was like, I would never want to be that guy, but that's a success.
That's corporate too, though. They have the acronym KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, and that's tough. So I watch MJ now, and he'll watch some of the shows, and no one has ever gotten like any kind of response from him except Stephen A. And that was kind of like, so I'm sitting, it's happened like 3 days ago. We were watching, I guess, one of the pre-games. And then he was like, Dad, who's that guy? And I was like, oh, that's Stephen A. Smith. He says, you know him? I said, yeah, I know him. He was like, oh, okay. And then he started looking. And then I knew he was perplexed. And I was like, all right, he's just whatever. And guess what he said? It's so funny. He was like, Daddy, why is he yelling? And I was like, I said, no, he's animated. He's getting pumped up. It's like the game about to start. And he's like, oh, okay. So he turned around, he started eating, and then he turned back around again. Dad, he's still yelling. And I was like, welcome to sports media, dog. Because, I mean, you know, he on the set with Perkins.
He's just a New Yorker.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Talk with emphasis.
Yeah, well, you don't, but they do.
Well, we was talking the other day about E40.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, you were Stephen A. for that
I
conversation.
thought I was yelling. I wasn't yelling. I was just normal conversation.
you were yelling.
You were yelling.
But that goes to my point. That's you take that as yelling, and when I'm home,
No,
like,
it
that's how
was.
we.
It wasn't
that's
taken as
literally
yelling.
how we
It
talk.
was yelling.
Was it?
Yeah.
That was
I
definitely.
didn't feel like it. That's how
If
we
we had a
talk.
decibel meter, it was yelling.
Loud and yelling is two different things.
I know I was yelling because I lost my voice
You
a
were
little
yelling.
bit. I think you
lose mine,
probably.
so that means
Well,
I
look,
was-
were you? Hold
I
on.
walked in the middle of it, and you were yelling.
Yeah, were you drinking?
I think you think it was yelling because it's louder than you probably normally hear me.
You gonna tell him what yelling is?
I'm the one that's doing it, so of course I can say it.
Were you drinking?
Nah, I mean I had to. Not,
Yes,
not
yes.
enough to make
It's
me,
a yes or no
No,
question.
I was
Sir,
fine.
please step out the vehicle.
Justin, the tiki juice is flowing by then.
Depends on the what the
I was good.
definition
I was
of
fine.
is.
I wasn't tipsy at
No,
all.
reason I bring that up is because that's how I have vocal cord surgery, because I would go places, think I'm talking, and then it would compromise my vocal cords to the point I had to have surgery. The doctor, he was like, so what do you do when you go out? And I was,
Yelling or was something else he was doing?
what?
I said it for that reason. I said it for that reason.
My son said, what? That's nasty.
He the one doing the gestures all the time. Now all of a sudden he a saint.
Yeah. I remember that phase.
My wife is Cuban, and it's not yelling.
wife. I was like,
It's
wait,
not yelling. It's loud.
It's
Yeah,
loud.
It's
Just talking with emphasis.
with emotion, but it's not yelling like anger.
Right.
Yelling.
I wasn't mad at anything. Like when I go home and if I go to like my neighborhood, or I go to a barbershop, anything like that's how everybody's talking.
No,
So I didn't look at it as
y'all
like,
do have a higher decibel level in New York. I give you that.
I was just talking loud. It wasn't like I wasn't yelling. But I get why it sounds like that because I never thought. You know when I knew it was a difference when I first moved here. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I guess we were.
What's her name?
Nah, I was a dude.
A friend of mine's a dude.
And somebody came up to me and was like, "Hey, are y'all okay?" And we looked at her like, and she thought we were arguing, and I was like, "No, we're friends. We were just having a emphatic conversation." And then she just thought, but I realized from outside in, I think people look at that as more than what it actually is.
It wasn't mean spirited. It wasn't. You weren't mad. It was. But you were
I'm
yelling.
saying you were mad, just you're yelling. Yeah.
Everybody at the table was yelling.
Someone yelling, yeah.
What was it about E40 though? Why were y'all yelling?
Because he thinks he's the greatest of all time.
Get your mic, Mark.
He's up there. He's up there though.
No, he's not.
Thank you. Come
Eat
on, y'all gotta
40?
stop. Y'all
Greatest
West Coast,
of all
y'all.
time.
I didn't say greatest.
He
He's
said he's
up
up
there though. He's
Up there like
E40.
where?
He's up there. He's up there
Don't
with
do
who?
this.
Going back down this hole again.
We're gonna start yelling.
What's the topic?
He's up there.
Another
though.
topic. We are
That guy,
not doing the
he
E40 topic.
got
with him.
longevity, man.
He does not respect E40, and I
Oh my
respect
God.
him.
Oh,
for
how
not
you gonna throw
respecting
me under?
Well,
I
I mean,
didn't say I don't respect them. I just don't have him as high as you do. That's it.
No,
Two things
but-
can be true.
see, this is how we slippery slope into it. I'm not gonna respond to that, even though I'm
Just
right.
like popularity and impact, right?
There you go.
Exactly. You're not gonna
Now
do
you about to
that.
get Richie started. Look, he ready
You
to
saw
go.
me go.
Okay, let's talk about this because I know we're gonna be yelling or talking with spirit on this one. How the Patriots and Vrabel had to respond to that video of Stephon Diggs talking to them three lingerie ladies of basketball, baby. And he was on that yacht with Cardi B.
Was she on there?
Yeah, I didn't see her in that video, but I saw a different video with her. So, yeah. To me, this was weird because I'm like Vrabel's a former player, so that's why he gave that statement of like, I bet he did this. Stephon, I got to put something out just so it seemed like I got control, even though I don't give a fuck. But you on this boat, but everybody talking about it, so let me just do that so we can establish a new Patriot way. Deal? Deal. Okay, don't trip. And, we got to make good choices on and off the field, whatever that means. But what was he doing in the video that was so wrong?
You missed the most.
Yeah,
important
it's not the
part.
ladies. It wasn't the
He had
ladies.
a whole big ass bag of pink cocaine.
But that's questionable.
We don't know what it is. We don't know what it
I
is.
didn't know- that's
We don't know what it
questionable.
is.
I saw the bag, but isn't that legal?
Hell no.
Well, if it was pink cocaine, but
They said it wasn't.
It
pink
wasn't.
cocaine. They
That's
said
what
it
I
was
thought.
like it was like weed gummies or something, and it comes in that type
Why
of
would
wrapper.
they have to walk away to go do it if it was weed gummies?
I didn't see them walk away.
They didn't walk away in the
they
video.
walked away.
They didn't
He
walk
said right
away.
there.
They were right there in
He
the video.
gave him the bag and they walked in.
No.
He said, "Go take these and come back and see me or something like that."
Right. Why you could just take the gummy right there.
Yeah.
You don't have to go nowhere to do.
But I don't think he was saying they had to go away just to take that.
Oh,
I think he was just like,
I think y'all
go
are-
do your thing.
I think,
Go ahead.
I think y'all are missing the whole thing. I think it looked like pink cocaine to me.
I don't even know what that
and
looked
he
like.
told them
It
to
wasn't.
take it. to
Never
take
seen
But they
it
say
and
it's
go
not
in.
that color. I don't know.
Just
I never
I
did
was
it.
looking at the bag. I've seen it.
Was
in
it
real
in pill
life.
form,
I've
Rich?
seen-
Pill form or just?
It was a bag.
I just heard of
Like,
that for the first time in the Puffy trial.
Right.
It's been around. It was popular in South America. I know that because I had a buddy in like 2017, 16 who started going to Colombia a lot, and he was.
What was your
talking
buddy
about-
named Richie?
No.
I'm just asking. Look like you a little bit?
That's what they had in the south side of Chicago.
Chicago, Columbia,
Escobar.
Cocaine.
Tomato,
Started
tomato.
going to Columbia University. But that looked like he was giving them the bag to go and do whatever their thing is, and then come back. That's what I saw.
I thought he was annoyed by them.
Yeah.
It looked like to me like my girls on here, y'all doing the most. I know y'all dancers or homegirls. Move.
Go do
and
your
the girl
thing.
grabbing on his little necktie thing, and like you can just tell when they flirting and they hopping. Like, first of all, y'all gonna grow up to be moms and hopefully and aunts, and y'all gonna be
Let's ask the crew. Crew, you saw it, right? What did it look like? Tootsie. Which is what?
It's cocaine and Molly mixed together
There we go.
to cause that.
To cause the pink. Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
So it is Pink Cowboy? Or what do you call it? Pink Cowboy?
With Tootsie. Tootsie.
Allegedly is a key word.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
And
Y'all
you don't
missed-
see him
y'all
taking
missed
it
the-
either. So
y'all missed the
it's
whole-
not Stephon's
But
not
what's the
messing with
point?
it.
That's still
But he had it. He had it. He's Stephon Diggs. He's
okay. Now you're making me think it's not that because I just can't assume and think Stephon Diggs is watching someone film him knowing it's going viral and I got an illegal substance. Like, come on.
I
man.
did see two comments, and obviously none of us know for sure, but I did see two comments under one of the videos, and it was like, it's some type of weed gummy, and the person said like theirs comes in the exact same wrapper. How it
Probably.
looks like with the coloring and the reflection on it. It was the same thing. I don't know, but I saw multiple people say that.
I've had a whole lot of weed gummies. They come in
You
a
ain't
whole
had them
lot of-
all?
You didn't have right. You didn't have them all.
You ain't had them?
But people don't act. That's not how you act when you're giving away a weed gummy.
Yes, it is.
I don't think he
Get
did
your ass
anything
away
weird.
from me, girl. You know this video on. How about? Have you ever had a Big Mac? Yes. Have you ever had a Big Mick? You ever been to McDowell's? You never been to McDowell's? Only McDonald's, right? Like 2 old sesame seeds.
What are you talking about? What are you?
I got something that kind
Coming
of.
to America, dummy.
Keep it simple.
I got you. I knew you was talking about
I
that.
got something that goes against what you just said, though.
Yeah, stop
So if you feel like you said that's how he's acting, that's why he told him to go away and do it. So he was bold enough to take it out of his pocket and on camera in front. But they couldn't do it
Stupid
right
enough.
there.
Yeah, stupid
they would
enough
have
to
to
do
go
it there.
away to do it.
Yeah.
But he's gonna take it out.
Ooh, detective on the case.
I'm just saying
Two
that's
different
it's
psyches.
a contradiction.
That's two different
Yeah,
psyches.
it didn't make any sense.
That's
but
why I don't think it
that
was
that looked way more clandestine than some gummies, y'all.
You hit the
No,
Yeah,
well, let's not bog down in that because we're never going to get the answer to that. But the thing is, I don't think the Patriots even responded to, because they would know what it really was, because they're going to be like, dog, what the fuck was that? And if he lies about it, I'm sure their investigators will find out way faster than he will like. But my thing is, you think that's only a story because they thought it was illegal drugs, or you think it was a story because they try to be like, these girls own you and Cardi and you just living too loose? Like, how loose can you live as a celebrity football player? Because a regular celebrity can do something. Like Snoop could do that. Snoop could be sitting there and doing whatever, pink taco, whatever you called it, right? But then you can if you're a football player because your body is your instrument.
And you got to protect the shield.
And you got to protect
Yeah, but that wasn't
It's
just
just the
Stephon
drugs,
Diggs.
that's all
You can
it
do
was.
anything. Didn't Miles Garrett get some flack for going to Japan with his girlfriend, Korean girlfriend, Chloe Kim? Skipped training to do something with her out in Japan.
I don't get the connection.
Well, you're talking about
you?
You're talking about the body missing. Are you talking about like missing camp and
I'm
not?
talking about this story here. What are you talking
No,
about?
but you're talking about Stephon Diggs, like the whole.
I think G's been doing some.
Yeah, I
pink-
think you have some pink something.
Cheat on that too.
And Miles Garrett and
But you're saying Vrabel's trying to hold him accountable for better standards, right? Showing up to camp.
to a degree, but
To a
that's
degree.
not the lead point. But yeah,
But your question was, is it because we're speculating about drugs? And
Yeah, I'm
being
like,
out
why is
late?
this a story?
But what I'm saying is he's just on vacation. So what if it's girls? Miles Garrett's on vacation. He's just doing it differently. It's a vacation.
Paul Pierce had girls in the video.
It's-
Let's just say girls could act different than that. Like my video with girls will not be that video because I know that's not going to be.
He's not a married man, is he?
What happened? Cardi B saw the pinkies of those girls and was like, "Get the fuck away from my man," and he's like, "Get the fuck away from my man. Here, take that." Because those two were together, right?
Yeah, they're together.
But you see them touching, and like their pinkies were a little down, a
Oh,
little low.
yeah,
Their
exactly.
pinkies were.
That's what I
That's
saw.
what
And
I
that's
think
what
it
co-
was.
yeah.
I think it's a combination of that because he's in a public relationship.
Yeah.
And you see him with these three girls.
Yeah.
That draws attention.
Like, yeah, get it,
And then
yeah.
he has we think is whatever. Tootsie.
I don't think anybody cared that he was with girls.
Who cares?
Or on a
No.
boat.
I did.
I think.
No.
I think
Well,
That
what's
got a
wrong with him being with
responsibility.
girls?
Did it
That's
really?
why we're not. That's
'cause
why
he's
when
with
you
Cardi
said,
B.
she was on the
And they're
boat.
touching
I was
all
like,
up on
well,
him.
that changes.
That's very
things.
interesting because all of my friends,
They were like
all the
touching
people I've
him
talked
and,
to
like,
about it
yeah.
have been concerned about the package.
But your friends don't know who Cardi is.
Yeah, they do.
I didn't care if you're Cardi or not.
Fuck you, Ice Cube.
I know if I'm in a public relationship. Remember that? If you're in a public relationship, then it comes with a different set of rules. Remember the guy? Somebody is married to some famous
Somebody's
girl.
married to somebody.
No, I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm really trying to find it. Are Eugene passed it? He
passed
passed.
it
Pass. He gave it to me. What the fuck is he talking about? All I saw was this girl. She's famous, and she sat on this guy's lap, but he was gay. So everybody was like kind of torn. Like, do you get a pass if you're a gay guy with somebody's wife on your lap? Somebody's gonna say it in the comments. But how would you feel about that? Like, would you let your wife sit on her gay friend, best friend's lap? If you saw a video and your wife was just girling, hey, on a vacation, and he was gay.
Depends how gay he is. There's levels to that. Because there's gay dudes that still smash women.
That's not gay then
not
anymore.
gay.
That's bisexual.
That's not bi.
If you
I know my words.
if you do something with a man, you gay. I don't care.
I mean, you're both. You're
That's
gay and
what you
bisexual.
think, but that's not what the word is.
not what you think?
No, that's not what the word is. There's another word
Oh,
for
so
that.
if you mess with a guy, that's not considered gay?
If someone messes with a guy, no, they're gay. But if they mess with a girl too, they're bi. You gotta
You'd be
respect
both.
you're
the word.
still
You
gay.
Both.
I mean,
Both.
I get what
Both.
you're saying.
You're both.
I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But you're not exclusively gay. 'Cause you're bi.
that's why I said there's levels to this.
Or you had some of that Tootsie.
Levels of gay. That's two different things. That's two different
A
things.
There's levels
unicycle
of gay.
is not a bicycle.
There's levels
And
of
that's
gay.
not a tricycle. But they all have wheels.
Oh, no. I want to hear these levels of gay, Justin. What is these
There's
levels?
the gay guy that's in the locker room with Marcellus who plays football, and there's a gay guy who walks around in a dress. There's levels to it.
Yeah.
You don't need to be gay to walk around in a
I'm about to
dress.
say, you can put on
I'm
a
just
dress right
saying
now.
there's
No,
some
but they're out
guys
the
who are
closet
like-
with it. They're out the closet
Yeah,
with it. It's open.
Yeah, it's full steam.
Yeah,
And
blasting.
then there's other ones who like kind of
So there's levels of heterosexual. There's dudes that be like, all they talk about is, yo, where the girls at? And then there's dudes that be like, nah, I'm good. And then he goes smash your girl.
But that's what they talk about. I'm talking about how you act.
You know, your girl.
Actions.
Your girl.
Ain't my girl.
I don't know. But I'm getting out of that conversation.
We
I don't know.
ain't gonna act like it's not levels to it.
They're really, to be honest, there's not. Now, you can have a conversation about it, but if you mess with a dude, you're gay.
That's right.
If you
That's what I said.
act a certain way and don't mess with a dude, you're not gay. But in this world, sometimes that culturally gets lost. That get true. Like, we've seen some people like you acting.
I'm not talking about just acting like
Okay.
a girl. I'm saying.
Or so if
you're
you mess
still
with a guy,
gay.
you're gay. If you mess with a guy and a girl, you're bi.
But you're still gay.
You said
Yeah,
earlier, it's not exclusive.
It's not exclusive,
yeah,
but yeah. But there's another title that's even better. Umbrellas both.
What you're saying is bi includes gay and
And yeah.
gay action
But
and
there's
straight.
guys-
Like we is you and I.
But no,
Yes.
but this, that's what I'm saying. There's levels because it gets tricky. There's guys.
You know a
who
lot about
are-
this.
I mean, we all do.
No,
'Cause
we don't.
We've seen it. There's enough examples out here.
Yes, one. I'm on his head.
There's guys who are gay who mess with women, but they're not trying to do it. So like you see these guys who are gay. They have all female friends. And
Did
they
you
in
go
a
to
room.
bed last night, or did
No.
you stay up on meds with
This
your knee?
happens, It literally
Your
happens
knee?
all the time.
Is your
You
knee
see it.
okay?
There's that gay guy who hangs out with all the girls. They get dressed in front of him, and every once in a while you hear that guy has touched
He's
one.
bi.
of them.
Yeah, he's going.
But on his own time, he's not really trying to mess with these girls.
Damn, Justin, what do you do with your free time?
It's situational.
Hey,
we all know this happens.
He,
Like, come
wondering
on.
about the wrong things. I wonder why.
You brought the topic up.
No, I didn't bring up the bi part. So let's say bye to that conversation. And let's talk
saying,
about this.
I'm comfortable enough to have that
well,
conversation.
I'll give you that.
This is not. Yeah, I'm very comfortable too, but this is not going to be comfortable as a transition. So I'm just going to say it because we're talking about the WNBA now. Speaking of, let me stop.
That's a great transition.
Your boy is on top
Richie,
of it.
favorite topic.
No. They investigated what Angel Reese said from the Chicago Sky about the racism and racist slur she heard during the game against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Well, then WNBA did their investigation, came back that was not substantiated. Nothing was found. It was a hoax. Jussie Smollett. Shut your lying ass up, girl. Nobody called you nothing. Yeah. But that's what they came out with. Your response to this, how you feel?
I
You think she heard something?
I think she heard something.
You
Who?
did?
Who?
Yeah.
Caitlin or?
No, Angel Reese. You gonna prep ever?
No, she said she didn't hear anything too.
Angel Reese said
In that article, she said I didn't. She herself said I didn't. You know, I didn't hear anything.
That's like you.
That's the truth.
that's the truth.
Gene out prepped you on that.
No. I'm pretty sure
no.
it said she. They asked her. She said no. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. So they said, where did it come from? And her response was, oh, I don't hear anything. I'm trying to get your response to what was substantiated and not from the investigation.
My question was, how do you substantiate something like that? What evidence are you?
So did she hear it or not?
She didn't hear it, man. She's trying to make up something because it's her and Caitlin. They're going through something right now. I don't know what it is, but
Oh, you know.
I don't. But it's like a little jealousy maybe on how much Caitlin's making and how much she's making. But she's always making a issue or a statement saying something when they're playing together. And they didn't find anything about it. They didn't find anything on it.
Was
Which
that
is
game
cool.
in Indiana?
Yeah, Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky.
Does that matter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it does.
It does matter.
She heard something.
Indiana versus LA.
But
yeah,
if they didn't
if you
find
said
it-
that happened
Yeah,
in
but
LA,
you're
I would
right.
be a
It's
lot.
not recorded on
KKK is
tape
they
anywhere.
find.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You'll
if
see
that game's
behind
in
the scenes
Indiana, just from
somebody
what I
does
see online, the way the Caitlin Clark fans talk about her, I think it's very likely
That's
she
not
heard
fair to call them
something
Caitlin Clark fans. That's not fair.
because typically if somebody's saying that, it's because they like Caitlin so much that they feel like they're riding for her by doing that. So I'm saying if they were Indiana, I can see that happening. LA, I don't see it happening as much because it's a lot more diverse here than it is there. So I feel like something was said, but
It would happen
But how do you
everywhere.
prove that?
It would happen everywhere.
You got thousands of, well, let's say 900 people in the stadium who came to watch this game, right? How do you hear what every single person says?
And then,
No, you
and
can't.
then-
You can't.
And then how do you go back and review if somebody
that's
said something?
Well,
or not?
that's saying somebody with a camera doesn't have it, which may come up later because that usually does say they couldn't find anything. How hard did they search? How big of a deal is it? Because they know it's said everywhere. Every event,
They
somebody's
don't
says
even have
something.
the resources to search that hard.
Right.
in
Yeah.
the WNBA.
Because then they got to do it all the time. And if you make a big deal, I mean, you hear about it even in soccer matches.
it's huge.
It's
Soccer is
huge.
huge, yeah.
And they're throwing bananas. They're doing shit that is so degraded, so awful. And yeah, it happens everywhere. It really does.
And what is that happens everywhere? Because we have not seen bananas on the court out here.
No,
we have not.
Racial slurs.
racial slurs.
But what's a racial slur outside the N word? Or is that the only one we're using?
No,
There's
the
a
monkey.
oh, no,
The
you
monkey
can-
Call you a
reference.
monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
there's
could-
plenty.
Oh yeah, monkey reference. Yeah.
What else?
Well, you said Oreo.
I mean, it's a whole lot of racial
Yeah,
slurs.
yeah, you say
You want us to just ring them all off?
No, I'm saying that will make Angel Reese or
Nice
make this
jumper,
a
you
complaint.
spear chucker.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've never heard that in the last since
They
AD.
used to say on the boulevard.
Oh, I thought it was Lane.
Oh my God! Oh wow! I'm trying to update this as the Indiana senator that wants Angel Reese to apologize to the fans.
It's doing too much.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
To
Why?
apologize for what?
What did she do?
For the allegation of that she heard something racist playing in Indiana? That's the literal response. I'm not saying I agree with it, but yeah. No?
No, because the fact to think that arena filled with 300 people can't.
And still can't find the person that said
That
it.
one person couldn't
Yeah.
have said something crazy out of those amount of people is. Come on, people talk crazy. People are drinking.
Yep.
All type of stuff is
And
happening.
it's Indiana.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on now. Indiana is not the.
I used to play against the Colts. I ain't never heard nothing. then again,
Football,
it's
you further away from the fans.
They ain't that far, motherfucker.
I mean, it's further than basketball. Basketball,
yeah,
you
yeah.
literally your foot is on the court, or if you can be that close.
People in your lap, right?
Yeah, right. in front
Okay,
of you.
so all right, to give the beats, Angel Reese has the game, whatever. She said that she heard there's no place in this league for racism and discrimination, and that made them launch an investigation that they found nothing. And where do you land? Do you land on you must prove something, or you didn't hear anything, or you land on you ain't got to prove it. You probably did hear something. Where do you land on that?
It's not actionable unless you can prove something, right? So
She didn't describe or repeat any particular remarks. See, that's what's weird to me. Like, let's just be real. Act like this your daughter and y'all by yourself. If my daughter came home and said I was in this daddy and they said this, and I said, what'd they say? And they get quiet. I'm like, so what'd you hear?
maybe her parent did do that.
Well, then why would you make this a public statement and not finish and say what you publicly heard?
I agree.
A public fight need to be having a public solution. That's all I'm saying.
And did she
It
say
sounds-
did
it
she
sounds
say
smart.
that in the heat of the battle? You know what I mean? Like when it was fresh right after that game with the flagrant foul, and
Why? That'll
and
make you
all the
that'll make you
antics.
skew the truth?
it could have made her skew the truth.
You think?
Sometimes people say something happened to make whatever it is that they did look better.
Yeah, that's true.
Or sometimes you misunderstand something because you're high in emotion in that moment.
That could be too.
So you think
That
you
could be
heard
too.
something, and it might not have actually been that because you're already enraged.
True. I agree with that. So if she doesn't know what was said, I don't know how you hear something and know that it was racial if you don't hear and know exactly what it was that was
So
said. How do you
yeah.
how can you describe something as being racial if you don't know exactly what it was?
But her statement still stands true, even if something happened or didn't happen, because she said there's no room for racism or whatever in this league.
Yeah.
So even if you found nothing, that's still a true statement. So they could just ride off of that and call it a day.
Didn't she say this last year though? Last season?
I don't know.
This was this season.
I know she said something like this last season
Oh,
about
I don't
racism.
know.
People saying stuff in the court. I mean
it's
in the stands.
like you talking about like when they were in college. Or
No,
you talking about the
She
first-
played last year for WNBA.
Right, but I feel like this came up when they was in college too. When that
It came up last year
That-
too. It's
that
like it's
last
coming
year.
up every year. It's like you're making a statement every year, and it's not. It's like the boy that cried wolf, and you don't have nothing to prove for it. I mean,
Well, I think that speaks volumes about the quality of the WNBA game. We're more interested in the race narrative versus the actual game. We're not talking about Paige. We're not talking about Caitlyn. We are talking about Caitlyn. We're not talking about Nafisa. We're not talking about Asia. We're talking about someone who's a great rebounder but not a great basketball player, and it's the only way she's going to see the light of day. Without this narrative, she's not going to get the attention either. It's a reality. No hate, but she's not good enough to be talked
did
like
just
this.
set a WNBA all-time record.
for what?
First to 500
Elaborate.
points,
First to
first to 500 rebounds.
points.
Yeah.
So she gets attention. Like she that is an accolade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I can be the first NBA player to miss my first 500 field goals, right?
That's not an accolade.
The point being, it's the accolade
You'll
is-
be out the league.
She's rebounding her own misses.
There's something.
yeah.
There's something bait. There's some baity about this. Like I'm getting fatigued.
Could be
That's
a sympathy thing, like wanting to get that attention, like
Yeah.
because everybody's killing her for how she's acting.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, I was acting like this because of that.
Yeah.
So just to get the people off of you.
but they won't get off her. Like it's a weird
don't know
world.
unless
This is
you
the
try. You don't know unless you try.
No, you do know.
No, I'm saying that might have. I don't know if she did this or not. I'm just saying, like, her mindset maybe, let me say this because maybe this will get people off of me some.
Yeah.
You can't say for sure it will work or not until you actually try.
Well, I don't even think she coming from that perspective. Like my grandmother and me, the one that we just talked about, I was telling you that died, would really just look at her and be like, girl, if you don't sit your ass down because you bullshitting. That's what my grandma would say. Now, my grandmother said that to me before and she was wrong. But most times she was dead ass right. Like more than, matter of fact, I think she was wrong one time. But that is even being loose. It's because it's like, things are simpler than this. Occam's razor, as you always say, razor. It's like, it's simpler than we shouldn't have racism in this world. What happened? I don't want to talk about it, or I don't know, or I am not going to say. And what it is I swear she's a part of this new group of people who will say anything because the news cycle will reward it. Just like, what clickbait is online, I think there's a now offline, which is called real life. Let me just say something. Like Jussie Smollett is a real thing. And let alone if you're like someone who's trying to build a brand or has a huge brand, how do you feed that? How do you give it more embers? And what you can do is just do this. And it just seems that way because it's starting to be like.
You nailed it. If it's not real, it sounds very selfish of her to, like, I'll put it this way. If she is being, if she's dealing with racism, I support her. I stand up for her. But if she's creating this fake false narrative, it goes back to the fatigue. Like, now I'm going to feel fatigued. Why am I standing up for you when none of this is true? If it is, I want to stand up, fight for you. But if it's not real, why are you?
Yeah, why are you pulling on?
But there's one other thing is her hearing what she thinks she hears, and that's more of a mental issue. Like, she's always focused on hearing everything. It's like, so maybe they had Winnie the Pooh and Tigger were giveaways, and she's like, right? And so she's gonna hear what she wants to hear.
Tigger.
And right, and so that's
Tigger.
a big. I think that's a bigger problem because
yeah.
she's hearing it, and it's not real. Yeah. It's manifest in her head because of how she's perceived. But if she's really manipulating things, she's got enough of a team around her. Like, that's not going to last long in Jussie Smollett.
That's part of playing the villain role.
Well,
it could be part of creating
and
that.
so is she
aura of
feeding
being
into
the villain.
that, and that's bad. Like, that's gonna come down on her forever.
I never heard anybody outside of Jussie Smollett. I never heard a person say they were dealing with, like, hearing racial slurs and it not actually happen. Like, I feel like her playing in Indy, and I feel like there really is a high chance that she heard something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you come out at the end of the game and just say, yeah, they were saying racial slurs.
But she
at
should
me,
have
and
said that then instead of I didn't hear anything. She damned herself with those comments.
Yeah.
And
also
your point,
to my
the same-
22, 23-year-old.
This, I hate when you say that.
'Cause-
Because you know what? You have such a low expectation at 22. Like, there are people who have graduated with 19 degrees at 22. You can call them an outlier, but I can say also they were expected to do great things. Then there's like most 22-year-olds do not get arrested. do not have problems, do not make up claims. And we need to start talking from that standard versus, well, at 22, you can make up something and it's because you're 22. No, you're just a liar.
That's not what
then.
I'm saying when I say that. My point is, regardless of who you are, at 22, you understand the things you're doing. But at 40, you can look back at some of those same things that you knew you were doing at 22 and say, I would have did this differently. That's just growth and maturity. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying right now, yeah, she knows what she's doing, but we're giving our feedback from a older, more mature mindset.
I am not.
So
at 22, I knew not to lie.
Right.
Did you?
Right, but I'm not saying,
I didn't have to
I'm not saying
mature
she lied. I'm saying at 22, I'm sure there's things you did that you look back now and be like,
but it's not
that
this
wasn't
thing.
a good idea.
You can't give me something general like that. Like her. She's saying racism shouldn't be allowed. They're like, all right, give me something specific. What happened?
No, what Jean responded to is I said, I believe she actually did hear things. Eugene said, well, she should have said like what she heard.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, yeah, at this stage, yeah, that might be how you think. In that moment, who knows? Maybe she got a little over her head. Maybe she didn't know how to word that properly. I don't know.
Maybe her management team came in and said, shut the fuck up.
Maybe that. There's so many factors that could be why
why
she
would you
didn't say
put out
that.
the blanket statement?
Well, so because she's got a lot of people telling her what to be and what to do because she's got all these deals. Everyone's sucking on the teeth of Angel Reese, right?
Okay.
They need her to be what they want her to be. Mm-hmm. And sometimes she just can't hold back. My father-in-law he spoke out about Elian Gonzalez, who is the Cuban kid who came. And he spoke out about it, and he got his ass fired. And he was in such a good position because he spoke out. He couldn't keep his mouth shut. He would have been set. He spoke out. This is like where people can't. When you're 22, and I agree with you, Justin. You sometimes you get fired up and you say something that you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that, and everyone around you goes, ooh, shit. Now it's damage control.
Now you gotta reel it back.
Yeah, and now you gotta reel it back.
Say if you say something that's true, and then usually you lead with what you said that stepped in it. You lead with the specificity.
You
and
led with
then
specifics,
you go
Elian
general.
Gonzalez.
You don't go general and then be like, I ain't got no specifics.
Well, it's what she heard. She may have said it. Hey, I heard this, but did she really? Then she questions herself. Did she really hear it? And that's
or management could say, don't say that.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, like I heard them talking this, but they don't want her to go into specifics for whatever reason.
Yeah. I get that.
And if you
I
don't
get
see it and you hear it because you're walking, you hear it. Yeah, but
That's
who
real.
said it? You can't.
Or is she trying to paint this picture like the WNBA is racist? I mean, with Caitlin, when they playing the Fever, they get this energy from this crowd.
Because I feel like it only happens there.
That has me feeling this way.
That's one way to cook up some Magic and Bird. Just keep feeding the narrative that we're all thinking lazily in stereotype, like Indiana is, and then
Right.
yeah.
To be fair, if you look at any Angel Reese post, you look at the comments. There's always racist remarks and comments in her comments.
But is that true if you read Caitlin Clark's comments?
I don't know.
I'd imagine she's going to get some hate, too.
I'm
You're
saying Angel Reese because she's the one that said it.
Yeah.
So if you look at her comments, there's tons of it there. So I don't think it's that far-fetched that she heard it, but
Yeah.
Just not at the game. It was through some other outlet.
we don't know.
What
The
they'll
bot
do-
farms have caught. They have caught.
They had the one kid at a soccer match. I think there's a younger kid was monkey like gestures, and they came in, took them out, right? And so they're going to get to a point, and so they're watching it everywhere. You got to have the stadiums that have mics can pick up shit with AI. They'll be able to pick up who's saying what to hear it first. One, is it happening? Two, then you pinpoint who it is and you get them out because there's no place for that, and I think that's up to the stadiums and the leagues to push for those types of things to be able to do it so it doesn't turn over. But it's going to happen. All they're going to do is kick them out, right? There's not much more you can do about that.
Can the WNBA risk kicking people out the stands?
Man, you stop.
Are we down to like 250?
If you're
No. I know
courtside, you have a.
I know I make jokes about the
Yeah.
attendance, but I actually ask that in a real way because if I'm the WNBA and we already struggle with attendance, do I now want to start investing money into listening to see what
They
people
just
say?
did, though. They just did for
They
this
do because they got to
investigation.
make it a
We should,
safe environment for the kids. They want to make sure that you're not getting it. Hey, because for football or whatever, okay, it's macho, get people going. You hear a lot of shit at the football games, right? But WNBA, you got a lot more kids, young girls. You don't want that to be a primary focus.
Well,
right?
I
That's
let
a
me push
different
back.
Okay.
Because I think Angel Reese and the WNBA are in the same position in terms of the incentives shaping their behavior. So they saw how rewarding it was for Magic and Bird to have that rivalry based on race. It took the NBA off a tape delay and then allowed Jordan to fly. So all of that came from there's a black guy and a white guy that are damn good. They're so good. We don't know which one's better. So now let's choose our side or go on the other side and quietly root for it. Whatever that was, right? And now the WNBA has been struggling for 27, 8 years. Finally gets that recipe handed to them from Aunt Jemima. You think they ain't about to start cooking the same thing, which means, A, Angel Reese, what happened in these games? Stoke that fire. 2, WNBA, let's launch an investigation off of a bland statement that racism should be negative or outlawed or whatever. And it's like, y'all really think we that stupid? Like,
It's not a real investigation.
No.
it wasn't a real investigation because it wasn't a real claim.
That was my point.
He didn't want to go there.
No, I'm saying I don't think they even launched a real investigation because it's not worth kicking people out.
I mean, their
losing
investigation
fans,
was
because they're trying to
interviewing
I think they did
fans.
their
They
work.
did. They interviewed fans and looked at camera angles.
Audio, listen
level
to it.
work.
Yeah. But
Investigation.
yeah,
It's like low-level work.
I think they like to smoke, and this is my initial point. Hopefully I say it better. There's a world where everyone wants smoke. No fire, just smoke, because when it all clears, I won't be here, but I got all of that distraction and attention, right? And we see it a lot. Ryan Clark does this, where it's like you will say something, then you will go and apologize, and it's like, the news cycle now is about distraction. It's about playing into narratives and stereotypes more so than really authentic infractions. If at any age, if that happens, we need to either know what happened or we can't even investigate what we don't know what happened. And maybe they knew something we didn't know. That's the conversation.
It's entertainment first. It's not a real court case.
Yeah.
Entertainment first.
All right. So now we have one more topic. What would you like to get into, Richie? We have several to pick from. Do you recall or would you like me to refresh?
Refresh.
All right. Should we talk about?
All right, Hatch.
I know. We got Aaron Rodgers talking anti-woman. We got Game 7 on the line. Who you picking? We got anonymous sources and people who hate them.
Chris Broussard. Chris Broussard. I feel like he started that.
Which topic?
No, Chris Broussard. That was like his infamous line.
What's that?
My sources, my anonymous sources tell me.
Sources.
Y'all want to do anonymous sources? Sounds like.
Well, Richie, your call.
Game 7.
You want to do Game 7 on the line?
Game
All
7
right,
on
let's
the
do
line.
Game 7 on the line. Y'all got it? Yeah.
If it's a game set,
That's
who would
that's
you
an
Okay.
easy one.
This is an easy one. You can't say Michael Jordan. You can't say LeBron James. You can't say Kobe Bryant. Game 7's on the line. What player in NBA history are you taking to win the game at the buzzer? Someone started this conversation off, FanDuel did, with Joe Johnson. Yeah. ISO Joe.
I already know who I'm going with.
Okay. So
UNLV.
I know who I'm going with while y'all thinking because it sounds
Already
like
got
y'all.
it.
Do you know who you got?
I know
Yeah.
who I'm going
Oh, who you got?
Reggie Miller. Pacers, Knicks. Game 1, he hit the 3. He's done that a few times down to the wire. So it's applicable right now with the Pacers doing what they're doing. I think he has it because he's long game. I was trying to think like who can drive the hole, but you're going to need a shooter, and he's done it.
He's done it. Game 7
That's
on
a
the line.
good call, John.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of Reggie Miller, but that's a good
Yeah.
call.
I don't think any of these we're going to pick going to be bad. Who you got?
I got Allen Iverson, and it's for the exact reason of the exact opposite reason of why you picked Reggie Miller, because Reggie Miller is good, but somebody's got to get him the ball. I can put the ball in Allen Iverson's hand, Game 7, say go create. He gonna hit the big shot. He can get inside. He could just do it all, and he played big in big moments.
Okay. Who you got? Trip?
I'm gonna say Kawhi Leonard.
You and me are we. Give me that
I like Kawhi Leonard.
Tell me
man.
why.
Kawhi.
Tell me why,
He's
Kawhi.
He's a clutch shooter. He
He's
hit
the
the
dude.
he hit the clutch shot against Toronto. For Toronto
Toronto, yeah.
against the Knicks. No, 76ers. He won it against the Spurs for the Miami Heat. He's a clutch shooter.
Dog, I ain't seen nobody with more ice in their veins than that Kawhi.
Leonard, man.
He is it. But I digress. Who you got?
Mine is easy. Steph.
I like that.
Steph Curry.
Jeez, that is
Well, I
raw.
thought we couldn't use Steph.
No,
he said
Kobe, Jordan.
Kobe,
Yeah.
Jordan,
Oh, I would've
LeBron.
picked
Yeah, you
Steph
could do
too.
Steph.
I thought we were like eliminating like the top 5. Like
No,
the
you just don't
legends.
listen, huh?
He didn't do his
I
homework.
just read it.
Yeah.
Because I put all of them in the same
Angel,
boat.
what did you hear? Because I just said.
Put Kobe, LeBron, Steph, like they all in the same boat. So
All right.
Steph can get to his spot.
Steph can do
He's
it
got
all.
the handles to control the ball, and the jumper is deadly.
Okay, now you want to remix or you good?
yeah, I would take Steph.
You take Steph?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all sit next to each other for a reason. Okay, who you got?
I got Tracy McGrady. His
Matt.
height, his shot, he could do it all. He could drive it to the basket, shoot over the tallest guy. He can shoot the
Were you mad that he
flag?
No. I was just gonna say T-Mac couldn't win though. You said he could do it all. I was like he couldn't win.
Well, no,
then I had to
but we're
take that
talking
back
about
'cause I picked
hypothetical
Iverson and
Game
he didn't
7
win.
game
My neck
winner.
and my back.
Yeah, hypothetical Game 7 game winner. He's the man. And let's not forget the 13 points in 31 seconds.
T-Mac is
T-Mac is
See,
my
Mac, they
legend.
said
He's
if
a
that
legend.
back didn't give was it. Like they were like, forget everybody else. It was gonna be
Give him
Mac.
the ball and
It'd have been Penny first.
T-Mac had
Yeah.
Penny was better than T-Mac.
I don't think peak for peak. I don't think.
What?
I don't think.
Penny Hardaway was the next one.
I remember. And then the T-Mac was insane.
There's nothing that T-Mac did that was better than Penny.
Didn't have to do better.
But that's what I'm
You
saying.
sound like Anthony Edwards.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying that's what I said. You said he would have been pretty
I
much.
think
T-Mac would
his
have been
what I take it like this. What I saw and what everyone was saying, like all the players kept saying, Mac. I didn't hear all the players saying Penny. I just knew
because
Penny.
T-Mac had a longer career.
Yeah.
So you got Penny in like a shorter dose.
Yeah, exactly.
But when he was on, he was unstoppable. Penny was doing moves 20 years ago that players still try to replicate now.
Yeah.
Like he was way ahead of. He was athletic.
No.
He had the shot.
No.
He had the hand. Like he could do everything on the court.
All the above.
The only player
Why didn't you pick him for your game 7 line? Why are we talking about
because
picking
he didn't
Hardaway
have a
right
long
now?
enough career. So I picked people who had a
part of
better
it.
career.
I mean, you could have picked whoever you want. That's your criteria. You use against
Right,
yourself.
but that's why I didn't pick him.
yeah, you
so
chose
why didn't
yourself.
I?
So why are you bringing him up?
Because you said
I did not
that
say
T-Mac-
anything about
you-
Penny. I said T-Mac.
You said T-Mac, had it not been for his back,
Yeah,
he
was
would have
it.
been the one.
Yeah.
And I'm saying over Penny because
Yeah.
I think Penny with his
Y'all
injuries, he would've been
tell
better.
us, beat up in the comments, T-Mac or Penny, who would have been the one if injuries weren't in the way? Deal?
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
Before T-Mac, you didn't even say Grant Hill. Grant
I don't
Hill
believe
was
he would've
more of
been.
that than T-Mac.
I don't think so.
Really?
He was more talented. I don't know about Game 7 game winning shot. I
No,
would
I'm
take
just
T-Mac
talking about.
over Grant
no,
Hill.
I'm not even talking about Game 7. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about just talent because he said T-Mac, he would have been the one.
Yeah. Now, of those three, Grant, man, who knows? I mean, what am I arguing? There ain't no answer.
I mean, that's a good, but it's a good
You
conversation.
throw Derrick Rose in that conversation.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I
Too
take
many
Derrick
what
Rose.
ifs.
But
I'll take
Derrick
Derrick
Rose
Rose over them.
he had a decent career. Like him and T-Mac's careers are somewhat similar.
But it got cut short still.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, mine is Kawhi for very obvious reasons, and I don't know why everyone didn't say it. One, he is, as you would say, a winner, even though I don't say that. He's a champion. That's different. There's people who haven't won a championship that are winners. Barry Sanders is a winner, but
Barkley.
he ain't winning.
Barkley.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a champion. He could defend all these suckers y'all talking about. Like, boy, stop. And he going to get buckets on them. He is a bull. There's nobody. Kawhi is better than all those guys we just named. True or false?
Not better than Steph.
No, I'm talking about the injured guys because he's been injured. So Kawhi, T-Mac, Penny, Derrick Rose.
He's
don't
killing
know
them
about
all.
that.
All of them.
I
Hell yeah.
don't know because
Come on.
What have those
he's
guys
so
done?
inconsistent. So if we're talking about one game and one game only, then yeah, but we can't just ignore that he's been hurt.
Okay,
so
let's take
much.
injuries off the board for everybody. Who you think would have been the best?
Penny.
Kawhi, yeah, I heard you. You sound like
Penny
that.
was giving the
Are you-
business to Mike and Scotty. And Scotty's a better defender than Kawhi.
Scotty or who?
Scotty was a better defender than Kawhi.
I give you
And
that.
Penny was giving Scotty the business.
Yeah, he was.
So
I don't know that. I gotta look.
this
again.
footage.
I don't remember
I don't
Penny's
remember.
game.
I do.
I do.
but
I do.
I don't at
He
all.
had
Please
Shaq to
pull
help
up
him
some
out,
Penny
though.
highlights. Please. You got to. You will change everything.
Tripp has a good point. Was Penny able to play that way Because he had Shaq on the court with him.
No,
Of course.
he played that way first. That's why Shaq asked for them to draft him. He was already like that. Remember, Shaq wanted Penny there. And then when Shaq was gone, Penny was still Penny. But then he got hurt a couple years after that.
Bang. All good. Well, who'd you say again?
I said Steph.
Now, is Steph still yours after you hearing Kawhi? Because you know if Kawhi were to get Steph,
Yeah,
that wouldn't be.
I don't.
That
And
wouldn't
Justin
go
will
on.
tell you, I really, truly do not trust Kawhi Leonard.
Why?
None of
Why?
us do.
Why?
None of us do. It's okay.
I don't know why.
As a human,
I know.
Because he's always
No,
robot.
no. You know what? I agree with you.
on the
I
court.
agree, and I don't agree in a way that I believe it. I just know that it's been beaten out of me to believe in Kawhi. And this year was the worst year because he was actually healthy when we needed him, and everybody else let us down to the point where I can see where you just don't want to get up again for a guy because it's just like, oh boy, because it's just like, dog, what is like? That's why coaches will get rid of a good player who just can't be reliable or consistent because he's like,
Paul George.
I can't trust you. Yeah. So I get why you don't trust him.
But you're talking about injured Kawhi, not healthy peak Kawhi.
But we don't. No, your shifts are horrible. Like we have left that part of the conversation. Like did nobody. He only wants this.
that Tusi. the
I've been
purest.
hanging out with Stephon Diggs too much.
Purest
I really
form.
like that.
You better put that pussy down.
That'll do it for episode 32 on the rocks. We're gonna go get some pink taco. What we smoking?
just think of all dad is coming.
Whatever Eugene got, we gonna smoke it up. All right, I love peace. Oh man,
Definitely.
that was apropos.